Hey everybody, welcome to Breakdown. Welcome to Breakdown. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are in for a doozy. Please give me a one or a two or something in the chat. Let me know you can hear me and see me okay. There's some things I can only do once we go here, so you got a little extra time to go get you some libations, some smokations, whatever, and then we'll get started. Y'all, we got an interesting one tonight. Y'all see the title. I might as well go ahead and start burning some knock chopper or something, get the energy right. Because y'all know we talking about the Johnsons. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining me tonight. I am Delacremedela, and this is Breakdown, where we break things down. Way more than we probably need to sometimes, but sometimes things have to be broken down. I'm looking for it. There we go. I knew I had something. Man, y'all. This show is by request. I asked one of our one of our breakdown crew members if they wanted me to go ahead and break down this Jaguar Wright interview that she did on Sean Davy Way's show the other night. So I will. And so I have, and it has been one of those where, shoot, Jesus. Then the little break we took from the Johnsons was nice. For a couple weeks. It was nice to take a little break. We thank you guys, you Johnsons. We thank you for the break that you gave us from your madness. But just like Goomba's titties, y'all always up to some shit. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna look at it. I do invite you to join me in the chat. I am watching the chat. I am always watching the chat because I cannot do this without you. The reason why I post the link to what we're going to be breaking down is because you guys are smart. You're intelligent people. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. Like-minded people attract like-minded people. So I want to bring you into the conversation, give you an opportunity. I try to post it noon Mountain Standard Time every Saturday. We're going to talk about so that well, today I posted a little early, 11:30 Mountain Standard Time. I was on my shit. I've been trying to get everything done 10 minutes early this week. That's been my goal. So I try to post it, by noon Mountain Standard Time. That would be 2 p.m. Eastern Time every Saturday, so that you're able to have about 9, 7 or 8, whatever the math is, hours to just review what it is. Maybe watch it a couple times if you want to. These things I generally only watch once unless I absolutely feel the need to watch them more than once if there's some research or something necessary. But y'all, If you got a chance to watch the interview that I posted that we're going to break down tonight, please join me in the comments. If you haven't, please join me in the comments. I'm excited to see all of our take on it. I do put your comments right up here, right up at the top, where they need to be. As a matter of fact, I got a couple disclaimers. Of course, I got a couple announcements. Hold on. Let me bring our dude back in so give us a little background music. Yeah, I got copyright struck this week. Beyonce's people copywrote me. Mystical's people copywrote me. The little girl in Detroit, the people that own her masters copywrote me. God damn. It was one more. Oh, the lady that posted the song I really love. She's actually the only one that any of what I posted. There was only one person actually owned their art that copywrote me. But I told y'all if I ever get copyright strucken, I know what I was doing. I have a broadcast degree. I'm fully aware of the parameters in which I can operate, how far I can go and still keep my channel. I'm not monetized on purpose, so I have nothing to lose. And eventually, we'll be joining and meeting on our own website, just like the Johnsons have a network, and we'll get into that later. What a network actually is versus a streaming website. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I got a couple announcements. First things first, welcome to our new subscribers. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm so glad you are enjoying the content and participating in the content. It's been awesome to come to have these conversations in the comments when we post these small clips of the breakdowns, because these things are big and we break them down into smaller little bits. So welcome to our new subscribers. We love having you here. I love knowing that we're on the right track. And speaking of the clips and the shorts, I do try to break the interviews down, whatever it is we break down, into those small clips so that they can be digested, because there can be a lot. Like, there can be a lot. And I do stop often during these. That's why I post stuff early too, so you can see the whole piece before we meet. But I do go ahead and post those clips and those shorts in between time so that you guys can keep up with what we're talking about as well. Just to break it down into little more digestible pieces. Because I enjoy going back looking at your comments. I enjoy going back and reviewing the conversations that we have. I do ask that you like this video here. I ask that you like this video. If you're watching the replay, I ask that you like it. If you're watching a short, I ask that you like it. Go ahead and leave your comments. Join us in the comments now and in the replay. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and let me know. Let me know that you're watching the replay, because I like to see those replays get replayed. That's what they're for. And I also ask that you subscribe. By subscribing, you're letting me know that you do want me here. When I contemplate whether or not I'm going to do a show, I do actually look and see if the content that we posted had any interest from the community, because there's no use in me putting energy into content that you don't want. So by subscribing, you're letting me know that you want me here, and I appreciate that, because I'm here for you. And I'm gonna be, whatever I'm gonna be. There are a few disclaimers that I want to go into, and forgive me, y'all, for talking fast. I just want to get through this, get through the bullshit. Hold on, I was supposed to do this a minute ago. Sorry. There we go. That's better, right? That's better. So I was supposed to do this a little bit ago. The disclaimer, we have 3. I mention them often because it's necessary. Because I know we have this YouTube community that's built around certain things and community guidelines, and we have to follow those community guidelines. So I also want to make sure that I mention these things at the top of our shows so that we're all on the same page. The very first thing I want to mention is this show is not for kids. It's not. I say a lot of things in front of my child that people don't say in front of their children. And if you got kids in the room, might be a good time to get out. I'm 42 years old. I don't really, I don't censor myself like that to a certain degree, which is why I'm not monetized. So I just want to mention that, and especially not tonight, because we're gonna talk about some shit. That's a hint. Um, second disclaimer. Oh, let me do this. Let me go ahead and read my fair use statement. It is important as a content creator that I both honor the law and defend myself using the law. So let me just go and put my fair use statement up. Because we are looking at, we do include some things tonight that are covered under fair use, and that allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. And we'll be doing all of that tonight. We'll be doing all of that tonight. So that is our our copyright statement to protect ourselves, because that's important. And then the very last thing, I feel like I'm yelling. Hold on. Let me get my sound right. All right. The very, very, very last disclaimer that I will probably say every single week. This is not a no judgment zone. Nope. If I had a gavel, I would bang it. Because what we break down here are people put out there on their own. So this is not a give them the benefit of the doubt or this is mercy zone. This is a judgment zone. This is a place where we can call it what it TI is based on what is presented before us, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. And y'all are so smart. Y'all be picking up on some shit. I was watching our last breakdown, and it was interesting to me how I were able to pick up on stuff I hadn't even picked up on yet. I didn't pick up on the fact that that girl was going out looking for dick until Miss Darlene Span, I think that was her last name, put that in the comments. And I was like, she goddamn sure is going out looking for dick. I just thought it was real corny that she was trying to date herself. You know. But no, for real, like y'all are awesome. So y'all be on it too. This is not a no judgment zone. This is a zone where we use our critical thinking skills that we learned in the 80s and the 90s, and we call a thing a thing. That's what we do. We call a thing a thing. Almost every single thing we've seen so far has been something a person put out about themselves. Minus Krishan Rock, who kept saying, I don't want to talk about this. Can we change the subject? And nobody would. And then she went off. But every single thing else we've talked about so far has been a person sitting in front of a camera, turning it on their own, or sitting on a couch in front of a camera, doing what they decided to do. So yeah, we gonna judge around here. That's what we gonna do. Trying to think, is there anything else that I need to cover? I do not think so. So I'm gonna give us about 30 seconds to go get our shit together. We're gonna turn around in our chairs one quick time. We're not gonna be here very long tonight, y'all. This one is not very long. I think that this is only about a little bit more than 45 minutes. So it ain't gonna be no couple hours worth of footage that we breaking down. And we're not gonna go real deep because we know Jaguar and Goomba, they lie. They tell the same lies over and over again. So having said that, let me go ahead and give us an opportunity to do what we gotta do. And I'll be right back.
You got?
Jazzy, how many more questions you got?
I only got one more.
What's your last question?
Can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show?
No, but I will share some for you personally.
All right.
What you're doing now doesn't define who you are. Everything you do when the cameras are off, that's what defines you. So you have to be just as great on the camera as you are off the camera and vice versa. That means that if you have a good day like today, you interview someone, don't let this make or break you. how you treat your family and your friends and other people off the camera. That's just as important.
Right.
Now, if something don't happen the way you want it to happen in your career, you do not go and cry and pout and think it's the end of the world. It's not. You hear me?
Yep.
It's not.
Promise?
Promise.
Y'all, that I would have to say is how an older woman should speak to a younger woman. That is the attitude, that is the spirit, that is the cadence. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. I feel like I'm going straight to the end because that's how it's done. That's how a woman of substance, of experience, of something to offer the world, the planet, the ethos, the ecosystem. That's how you deal with a young girl who's at least half your age. But before I jump ahead of myself, y'all. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We are going to watch the interview portion for Jaguar Wright and Goomba's Titties on the Sean Davy Way show. Y'all, y'all, think away. Wait, let me take a moment. Dominic says she gonna cry, pout, get mad at fucking, and do what you gotta do. Now I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Sometimes you have to, but at some point you'll get to a place where you like, you know what? I can't control none of this shit, so I'm just gonna keep it moving. I'm not gonna say somebody else did it to me. I'm not about to put it on nobody else. I'm not about to try to play their games and then get mad because I don't get rewarded. I am going to keep it motherfucking moving like my Ford F-150. Okay. But I feel you on that. You know, I think today I probably cried, pouted, got mad as fuck, and then did what I had to do. So I feel you several times. And you know what? I appreciate you, Dominique, last week because I think you already watched the content that we were talking about. And I really appreciated your input in the conversation because by you watch the content, you were able to flow, apparently. And I really, really appreciate it. So anyway, y'all, let's jump into this shit. Let's jump into this, y'all. Let me think. Is there anything I need to put out there before we jump into it? Hold on. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Is there anything? Nope. Let's get into this.
I'm gonna drop out and come right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Because I want to make sure that I can. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Okay, y'all can. Yeah, y'all can hear me. Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
perfect. Yes, I can hear you. Sorry.
And if you
We
can hear
need
this,
more
go ahead and give me a
haters.
one or something in the
We need
chat.
a
Let me
lot
know.
more.
We don't have enough.
They're mad. Jack, they're so upset.
But what are they mad about?
I don't know. I guess we were supposed to have lied.
I don't know who we is.
Well,
Who's
I
we?
mean, the only thing I can say is that after my stay at the hospital,
Okay, before she starts to talk this self-righteous shit about being in the hospital, I wish she would put on a shirt too, y'all. But you know, I'm gonna come before y'all with some titties every once in a while too, cause I'm at home. I feel you. Now I wish he would put on a goddamn shirt, cause he looked like a fucking cabbage patch. The thing that bothers me the first, at the very first start of this video, is how she is gleeful about proof she wasn't lying about a fire to her car. She's excited to prove that there was a fire to her car, and she thinks are mad because she proved it happened. She doesn't realize that just makes the rabbit hole go even deeper. Now, I said in the comments, I'm gonna read it verbatim. Nope, we ain't wasting our time examining two photos from after a fire. We ain't doing that. I worked as an insurance adjuster for just a few years in the early 2000s, and I've seen some fraud fires before. I have. I've seen them. I know what they look like, but I'm not about to do. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what the ancestors sent me here for. That's not what karma has sent me here for. Okay? Gaia sent me here to set the record straight about Jaguar Johnson and Goomba Johnson. Okay? Um, Now let me continue to read. What we will do together is continue to enjoy every moment that Jaguar Wright exposes her bad behavior and lack of value to our community. And by our community, I mean every community. All of them. All of them. Our racial, economic, political, sexual, educational, professional, all the communities. She's a virus. She's a cancer. She's an unpredictable epic. In the worst way. So we will continue to talk about that. And while trying to, we'll do all that while trying to ignore how exposed GoombaHead's titties always happen to be when he's caught on camera. Oh, sweet Jesus. So, like I said, we won't be here tonight for very long. But the first thing that catches me is how gleeful, how happy she considers that people are hating on her. Well, that's a narcissistic point of view. Spend a week in a mental hospital. You just said that. I don't know. I don't know if you got that deep into your therapy, but because I know you were teaching women how to sing and play spades and the macabre and how to speak in tongues. And you were getting ready to start a group home with Tony. Tony, how's that going? Um, but she seems like I wasn't lying. Look how amazing I am. Hey, y'all, this is the reason. I believe so. Help me make sure I'm right. Was it you? It was you that told me to go ahead and do this show, right? La Chi Guapa Magic. Was it you? Was it you? Was it you? Well, I forget. I think it was you that told me to go ahead and do this show tonight. If it was, I appreciate you. If it wasn't, I appreciate you for being here either way. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. Because I know you've been in the comments tearing her up, and I've seen you on other platforms tearing her up too. Uh, uh, Much love to you as well. Um, but to start, if my car got caught on fire, she said maybe. I appreciate you for that. If my car got caught on fire, would I be happy I proved to you I wasn't lying? Now, this nigga had a whole campaign. Dominique, you remember when we were in China and that nigga started trying to say I was lying about being stranded in China and saying I was raising money and I was a fraud and Umar Johnson and I were raising money together and the bullshit. And you know good and goddamn well we bought 6 flights and stayed in 17 hotels trying to get out that goddamn country. And you know we emptied our pockets at fucking immigration. ER saying so woo loo chia ba. You know we did it all the way to 17,000 kwai. We paid immigration to get out of the country. You paid immigration for me to get out of the country. You know. And you know we rolled back first class because every single dime we raised, every single dime I raised, I reinvested and was able to make money off of the money that our community blessed us with. All the while, this nigga got this whole campaign. This little bubblehead nigga, he looked like E.T. and a light bulb at the same fucking time. He looked like E.T.'s finger. This little nigga got a campaign talking about I'm stealing. I wasn't happy to prove him right. I didn't consider him to be a hater. Honestly, I think he thought he was doing the right thing. I do. I just think he was so overwhelmed by his hatred for Umar Johnson that he was misguided. And he knew, never mind. Anyway, I'll keep that part to myself. But yeah, this particular person, he never apologized. He blocked me once he realized that he was the one lying, not me. But I never felt gleeful to say, hey, look, we're stranded. Hey, look, we're stuck in another country full of people that hate us and we could die. Hey, look, they're evicting us from not letting us stay in hotels. I'm not lying. Look, haters. We need more haters. Something about that is just weird. And that's the only word I can use to describe it. It's motherfucking weird. It's weird. It's almost evil because this attention whoremonger will end this interview by saying people did her son a disservice by talking about this when she motherfucking leaked the whole goddamn story and the fake pictures that went along. No, I wasn't no gossip. That was a year before I even knew Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson was with me in Shanghai the year after that. So anyway, listen, I gotta take that comment down. Throw it off. Uh, that was such an inside conversation, and not everybody knows what the hot tub is that Umar Johnson is known to have hung out in Japan on people's money. On people's money. But whenever he was in China with me, it wasn't on the people. We had a team that hosted him. We didn't ask for money from the people. Well, yes, we did. It was the people. Do it on the people. Ooh, my bad, people. But anyway, I didn't gain nothing from it for real because we didn't make no money off those events. But anyway, we'll have to talk about that more. Yeah, I'll have to unpack that whole thing a little bit more. But anyway, back to Jaguar. It is the attention whoremonger nature of it all to be like, I'm going to leak a story, spread false proof, and then come back with a real piece of proof and tell you were stupid for saying I was lying by examining the false proof that I released. Fuck you, bitch. While you telling everybody, fuck you all, fuck you. You fucking yourself. You are fucking up your credibility. People that want to work with you that think you might have a message. Oh, hot tub in the desert. Oh, shit. I appreciate that hot tub in the desert because I appreciate that Jaguar kept me reminded to wear my waist trainer every morning for 30 minutes. Um, because shape matters when you're 45, turning into 46, and you trying to catch 23-year-old prostitutes in late night bars in Phoenix, Arizona. Dominique said. Somebody in the comments of the video said they was going to drain that hot tub after they got out. Listen, I done seen some people get out of hot tubs before, and it was greasy, and there was like some sort of like grit at the bottom of it. That's why I prefer not to do hot tubs that only use chlorine. I do prefer hot tubs that use salt water. That's why I'm a Ritz Carlton girl. Fuck you if you don't like it. Because the Ritz Carlton always puts salt water in their hot tubs and their pools. A place with a hot tub, and I don't really use it because I don't, you know, it's yeah. But anyway, with that hot tub, um, she's happy. She's overjoyed. She's ecstatic. Proved wrong the proof that she presented. It is expensive to stay at the Ritz Carlton, but it's whatever. We buy what we want. We struggle for what we need. That's what we do. It's whatever. So let me continue. So I just wanted to make mention of that. Her attitude about this situation. And the host of the show, is doing their job. They're not journalists. I keep saying that. So I can't hold them to the same rules of journalism, the same integrity of journalism. I ain't got nothing to do with that. My concern here is the disease that is Jaguar Wright that wants to spread mistruths along with truths, half truths, and purport herself to be some sort of necessity community.
Mhm.
During that time, I learned that there were things about myself I needed to accept. And it sounds like there's a lot of people in these chats that should go to the hospital to figure out what the fuck is wrong with them that they are.
Have you ever had a friend that lost a lot of weight and then all of a sudden they think they could tell you something, or they got in a good relationship, so now all of a sudden they're a relationship expert, but they ain't been. You like, well, keep the weight off and then come talk to me. Let me see you next year. Stay in that relationship and grow it, and let's see what happens with it, and then we can talk. Raise a child before you start trying to give me advice about one. Have you ever met somebody like that? That's what this is. Oh, and I got to tell you, my sparkly shirt is because the Wrights are here and we doing shows. So I wanted to dress appropriately. I have a feeling we're going to be giving out some awards tonight. I'm sure there's going to be tears, laughs, all the shows. But that's what this looks like. That's this self-righteous bullshit right here. This self-righteous bullshit is, I went to the hospital. Everybody knows I'm fucked up. So now, y'all know I only think I went there to teach the girls how to play spades and the macabre. Y'all know that I'm fucked up now. I can't hide it. I can't call it anything else but what it is. I went to the hospital. Y'all know I was there. I can't hide that. But now that I've been out after 1 week and being detained the next week in the airport because I didn't take my medicine with me on a trip, and I was tripping in the fucking airport in a federal facility on people's jobs when I ain't had one. Now I'm gonna tell you what you need to do because I spent a week in the hospital. Tell us, Jack. Let us know.
Just can't believe the truth. Like, you realize to choose not to believe what is evident in your face, that means you're insane.
Yeah.
That is like, that describes insanity. When something is sitting right in your face and you still refuse to acknowledge it for what that's insanity. I tell you what, I love the way you explained like the time stamped and date.
Hold on. I gotta go back.
But this is the thing. Even if it were Photoshop, then that means that
I'm gonna pause this for a second because I want to mention something when we look at these pictures. Now, I said we weren't gonna examine these pictures, and we're not. That is Allstate's job. They're going to do the credit report. They're going to do the bankruptcy research. They're going to find out information on their current bills and whether or not they have any outstanding judgments. Allstate is going to do all the research on their income and their expenditures and their tax returns. Allstate's going to do the research on where they've been and the maintenance records of the vehicle, and them little bitty fucking tires on that wide wheelbase. Allstate's gonna do all that research. I don't have to do it. Don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. But I do have to mention that Goomba said that vehicle was burnt beyond recognition. Let me see if I can get us there without fucking up. Ooh, ladies first. Ladies first. Yeah, Goomba said that car was burnt beyond recognition and they couldn't even find the
insanity.
VIN
When
number.
something
So
is
let's
sitting
let's
right
see if
in your
that's true.
face and
Let's
you
see if that's
still
true.
refuse to acknowledge it for what that's insanity.
I mean, I see Kia, I see a tag. There's a VIN number on the, if you open the deck lid, there's a VIN number right under the deck lid. Um, their car's not burnt beyond recognition. It's what is burnt beyond recognition? Where's the burnt beyond recognition part? Do you see? Even if it is, they did it. Anytime someone says, even if it is, they did it. Absolutely. Um, do y'all see? I mean, you can see the car. Tell me what they may have meant by burnt beyond recognition. I'm gonna let it play because there's more pictures about of the paddy wagon. This is that one car people can't stand. A lot of people don't like this car, and I understand why. I love Kia, as I said last week. Shout outs to Kia for paying many of my bills, but a lot of people don't like this car. It just really is one of those things. Um, I mean, the plate is what the plate is. I mean, plates
I tell
don't
you
burn,
what,
but
I love the way you
I just want
explained
to
like the
go.
time stamp.
I mean, I just want to mention because I just want to talk about the lies. I could give a fuck about this. I never said the fire was a lie. I said I don't think it happened the way it was said to happen. I don't think Betty White put a pipe bomb in this car and set it on fire. I don't. I don't. And I do think that if it wasn't Jaguar Wright being a whore and trying to eat a prostitute's pussy and disrespect her husband, he would have never even been in the position to risk his life with this even happening. That's what I do think. I do. I do think if Jaguar didn't have a pimp in her bones, that she wouldn't have been treating that young girl the way she was. That's what I do think. But I don't see where this car is burnt beyond recognition. I mean, inside that door, there's a VIN number. There's VIN numbers all over that car. It's a Kia Soul. There's VIN numbers all over that car. It's one of the easiest cars to steal, so they put VIN numbers all over it. It's a very easy car, very easily. These are popping up in Atlanta along with Honda Accords and Challengers and Chargers. Everybody's stealing these cars, but we're looking at a car that we can recognize. So what do we mean by it was burnt beyond recognition, Goomba Johnson? I guess we'll ask your nipples in a minute. I just wanted to mention that lie, because it wasn't burnt beyond recognition. I can recognize a Kia Soul when I see one. As a matter of fact, the back of the car
And
says
date,
Kia
but
Soul.
this is the thing. Even if it were Photoshop, then that means that ACT Towing
Even if it was.
photoshopped it because they sent those pictures to me.
Absolutely. So that's
I
the
didn't
thing.
even
So it's
take
like
those pictures.
you can even send it to the
But you sent the picture of the fire to the building, to the bloggers, that they posted and said that was proof of the fire that happened on February 2nd when your car wasn't burnt up or blued up until February 3rd. You did that. You set the lie up for yourself. You made yourself to look like a liar. First of all, ain't nobody ever talk about this shit until you talked about it. Wasn't nobody following you. Wasn't nobody with you to know your car got blued up or set on fire. You the one that put that in the blogs. And I just want to say that right now, because you went off on people like Sean Davy Way, who you released this information to personally, single-handedly, along with those spades lessons you taught while in the mental hospital that was so refreshing, while you got the Jaguar Wright treatment that didn't seem to work because the next week you fucking tweaked out in the fucking airport like a dumbass. Stupid. God damn, you say some stupid shit. God damn. This woman.
AC the towing shop yourself and ask them, are these your photographs? And they will say, yeah.
It ain't even about the fire, y'all. That's the thing. It's not even about the fire. We're not examining whether the fire
they're
actually
stamped
happened.
with their
We're talking
company
about these
and the
motherfuckers.
funny thing
on
is,
it. That's
no,
that's
but wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's another brilliant, idiotic moment that happened a few minutes ago. And I have to acknowledge it as the dumbest motherfucker in the chat. You win the award, you brilliant idiot. They were talking about the car was burned, but the license plate was fine.
Yes.
So let's look at logic. The car was on fire when they found it, idiot. That means they had to put water.
I am so. Now, here's the thing. Y'all, when Jaguar and Goomba's Titties met us in the hot tub 2 weeks ago, the first thing they talked about, the first thing she talked about, because he tried to act like nothing was happening, it was whatever. She first mentioned, her first words out her mouth were, y'all, she slid up in the camera and said she was 23 and Puerto Rican and Mexican. That's the first thing she said. She didn't say, oh, y'all, my car was on fire. Life is crazy. Pray for me, whatever. Cash at me, whatever. First thing she talk about is somebody else's pussy. She made that the most important thing. She still hasn't shown any emotional connection with what happened to this car. Now, she does go on to say the car is her family, blah, 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 whatever. But she doesn't show any emotional connection to what? The gravity that she was fucking around with a bitch and her husband felt disrespected, so he went out in the streets to cool off to keep from whooping her ass and parked the car at a laundromat, and the car got set on fire. She later says the car was removed from that place and taken somewhere else and caught on fire. Now I'm real confused, but who cares? Because the devil is the author of confusion. And the devil is my nigga. So whenever there's a confusion, I ask the devil, what we gonna do? Olosi, how we figure this out when Olosi? Because you the author of this confusion. So how we gonna figure this out? Story is all over the place. But the first thing she mentions when the fire actually happened was somebody else's pussy. a 23-year-old. She brings it back up again in this interview because it's so important to mention that this girl is 23. Whenever a woman of a certain age comes in my presence, I automatically become her mama and her auntie. I like pussy like the next bisexual bitch, but I don't make a young girl my target. Something about that just seems inappropriate. If it's inappropriate for a man, why isn't it inappropriate for a woman? And then to keep talking about it and fetishizing her age, but I'm jumping ahead of myself because she does a lot of exposing of herself here. All I'm saying is, you don't seem connected to what happened, to the fact that somebody tried to kill you and your husband, and he would have fallen asleep in that car that night because of you. But for his dumbass submission to you, he would have fallen asleep in that car. Bitch. You worried about proving people wrong that there was a fire and calling people stupid because they ask questions about a license plate. People are supposed to ask questions to a liar. People don't trust you.
On it to stop the fire so that they could put it on the slab and tow it away. Now, any debris or char or burn, when you hit something with a fucking fire hose,
Why is she trying to explain
that's
it?
beyond power washing.
Why is she trying to explain it?
And that's what they had to use to put the flames out in that car. That's why you can see the plate, because it had just had a bath, you idiot.
So this is the thing about
I'm gonna tell you why I'm extremely fussy. Because I'm supposed to be smoking sativa, and this indica got me impatient as shit. I don't have the time or the energy for this bullshit.
it. Not just that that's the reason. If you actually look at the vehicle, you can see that the bottom of the vehicle, it wasn't burned to a literal
This isn't
crisp.
even about the car.
Top of the car was on fire.
Nobody would even know this happened if she hadn't released it. I created a campaign in 2020. It was about March, called Get the Fuck Out of Here. Operation Get the Fuck Out of Here. We were trying to. It was Dominique Waters and I had a conversation with our friend Lerato. Lerato's in Germany now, Dominique. She's about to get married. I'm so excited for her. But anyway, our friend Lerato needed to leave the country too, and she was scared to ask people for help, namely niggas she was fucking, which didn't make any sense to me. How you giving a nigga your pussy and you ain't got access to his WeChat, his Wechat? But anyway, Dominique and I were telling this girl, like, you gotta ask for help. And I started a campaign. Get the fuck up out this motherfucker. If any of you know me and you knew me when I was on Instagram, you know I had the campaign. Hashtag GTFOH. That was the campaign. I chose to disclose what was happening so that I could get the help I needed to leave. Anybody who called me a liar, yeah, I had a conversation about it. But I can't call you stupid for questioning the situation. Never did I, never would I. You have a right and a responsibility to critique anything that's put in front of you, especially from somebody you don't know or trust. And especially after I showed that Umar Johnson had given donations, I expected the speculation. I'm a bitch. I can handle that. I'm an OG. I'm not new to this motherfucking shit. I know how to handle that. That wasn't nothing. But I'm not going to get mad at people for questioning when I release the information. It is. She moved to Germany. I'm really, really happy for her. But yeah, listen, you can't get mad at people or call people stupid for examining evidence that you released. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, she got her boo. I am so happy for that girl. You have no idea. At some point, we got to do like a 3-way call with her because I'm going to visit her. She's in Berlin, I believe, Berlin, Germany, and I definitely am going to visit her because she got her man and she got a puppy and she building her life because she's always wanted to move to Europe. So I'm definitely excited for her. But anyway, yeah, she was afraid to ask for help because she didn't want anybody to know what she was going through. But you got to tell people times. And this bitch told us what she was going through. She did. She released the Facebook, the Twitter page, the picture was what she released. That's it. That was it. Just the picture and her husband's narrative. Excuse me. But every single thing we examined together, and I'm not defending our examination because I don't have to. I defended a master's thesis. Now, fuck with me. I'm not defending our examination because I don't have to. What I'm saying is, we examined evidence that was released by the source of the matter, which was false, which we found out. And we found out, earlier in this conversation, Sean Davy Way says they purposely put out false evidence just to give us something to see. Well, that's what makes a tabloid, honey. That's the difference between a journalist and a blogger. You can do that. Some of us are held to a different level of integrity. My degree says I can't. My degree in mass communications with a focus in broadcast production, my bachelor's of science says that I can't purposely put out false information just to be sensational. I can't. I don't have that option. I have an actual education in the matter that won't allow me to. I have to behave as if it could get taken away, as if I can get disbarred or undegreed. I have a level of integrity that I have to go by. So there's certain things I don't do. I build my channel organically. I only release information that's been vetted and verified. I don't purposely release false information to get people talking. Let's give them something to talk about. That's not what it's about. It's about information. You know, Well, people call people stupid when you get to the point of insulting people's intelligence because they questioned you, and that's what you spend time talking about, not finding out who did this. You got all these resources, you know, not finding out who did this or happened or why or how, or even coming to the understanding that your husband could have died in that car because you were trying to lick somebody else's pussy while he was throwing up. Just where's your focus? Are you trying to build a social media platform?
See the
If so, you're
majority
doing
of
a
the
great
damage.
job.
The entire car.
I mean, you talking about the Nene leaks, you talking about the Tiffany Pollard's New York, about the best of the best ratchet bitches are rich because they put all their business out there and made themselves look so stupid, and people content with being boring and having uninteresting marriages. And I don't know that lady, so I'm not defending her because I really don't know her. All I'm saying is make what's important important.
Was not on fire. So that means that above, inside more so was where the fire remained. Not on the outside. If you look around at the bottom bunk.
The fire was on the inside of the car. Goomba would have been asleep where? On the inside of the car. Why? Because his wife went to the bar and kissed another woman, a girl, somebody she still to this moment will not call a woman or a lady. Still calls her a girl, a little girl, fetishizes her age and her race. While she finally mentions again that she's was a pimp. And I know for possibly that girl's boyfriend was probably a pimp. That could have happened because of you, Jacqueline Suzette Wright Johnson. That all, if your husband would have been in that motherfucking car inside. And obviously the fire did start on the inside. P. Diddy got in the car, locked the doors, and got in his Uber that he could get, but you can't because you've been banned from Uber. After he got in his Uber, P. Diddy slithered out from under the seat, unlocked the doors, went in the car, and started the fire. Now, what if your husband was in that car and P. Diddy went in there and started that fire while your husband was in there? Because of your ass, is all I'm saying. Talk about what needs to be fucking talked about while you telling people they need to go to the hospital. No, we get therapy. We get counseling. We meditate. It was the butler with the candlestick.
Bumper. You see how the whole bumper is clean? So that means that the plates didn't set on fire, you idiots.
Plates
Like,
don't set on
y'all are
fire.
weird.
But oh shit, I reminded way too far. It doesn't make a person an idiot to question that or speculate about it. Y'all, it actually makes you smart. It's the people that don't ask questions. I believe one of our goddesses, one of my fellow goddesses, one of my fellow divas said, "The man who knows something knows that he knows nothing at all." And if you know nothing at all, what do? You ask questions, you speculate, you become curious. You don't let people tell you what to think. That's a certain education that doesn't make you a smart person. You allow yourself to be facilitated and taught by the information. You don't what we learned in seminary, you don't eisegete, which means to take out of the scripture what you want it to be. You exegete, which means to take out of the scripture what is there and what thus saith is saying to you. But these people want us to just take the information and not ask any questions after this woman has blatantly lied over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm hoping I got us right
I
back
was
to the
just
right
go back
spot.
to Lyft driving and just
Oh yeah, she went into a story. Hold on, a narcissistic story, because they always have one. They always got a story. Narcissists always got some long ass story. They ain't got shit to do with shit. Fuck. Let me make sure everybody can hear me. Sorry.
No, it's not. Now, if the bumper, it was burned down to the bumper in the back of the vehicle, then I would see. I would be like, okay, yeah, I get that. Why is all of that burned? The back bumper, all of that, but the plate is like y'all weird. Like the
If
you
you
know,
are here,
fire
I
was
do
more so
ask that you like the
inside of the
video.
vehicle.
Please,
Sean,
please like the
Outside.
video.
I gotta pause you for a
Go ahead.
second.
Go ahead. Go get it in. Go ahead. Get it in. Y'all weird. I'm just like, look at the
Listen
like,
to me,
y'all
Sean.
weird.
Intelligence is a beautiful thing, but when you don't have it, when you lack any kind of intelligence,
Intelligence is what you were taught. Insight and intuition are what you know. And we all know that Jaguar Wright is
at
full of
all,
shit.
it's gotta hurt.
You don't have to be a trained fire inspector to not be an idiot in this situation. Because I don't think anybody stepped up and said, "I'm a trained fire inspector." That person is intelligent. Nobody in the room is intelligent when it comes to this conversation, but many of us are absolutely insightful. No questions. Questions. That's a cultish mentality. That is a cult of personality. She's trying to develop a cult of personality where nobody questions what she says. And you're driving all this traffic to your website, which is great. You know, good for your business because it's thriving and you were able to buy another vehicle within a couple days. You should be able to. You were replacing a fucking Kia. So 13, maybe 12,000, brand new. And that wasn't brand new. I'm sure maybe it had some negative. Anyway, too much. What I'm saying is this: you're trying to develop a cult of personality where nobody asks you questions. So you insult people's intelligence. Y'all, I was delivered from the church. Some of the worst at this are pastors. Some of the worst at this when you leave their church and they start cutting you down over the pulpit, or when you question them, or when groups of people question them, and all of a sudden you don't know the word like I do. I heard Bishop Terrell Murphy at New Birth tell people they didn't know apologetics, therefore they shouldn't be out there evangelizing because they don't know the Bible well enough. That doesn't even make any sense. These are your people who are stupid and don't know. Is that because you haven't taught them? So Jaguar Wright, if you came on this platform and you drew all these people here and we're stupid, you were the magnet, honey bunny. You were the reason why we came in the door. You were it. You were the leading topic of conversation tonight with your dumb ass. trying to explain a fire that you weren't there to see. And didn't anybody find it strange that, never mind. Yeah. Didn't anybody find it strange that the next, when Goomba realized the car wasn't there, he didn't put action into going to the junkyard or wherever it was to see it, find out what happened? Because you would think, I was the last person with that car. What the fuck happened? Why did his wife, who's supposed to be the submissive one, the protected, provided for one, why did she and her female friend go with another blogger to the junkyard to find out what happened? Why didn't Goomba go? Why did he stay at the hotel? Something about that seems crazy because you were the last one with the car. Wouldn't you have the most curiosity? You were the one who left the car in a place. Wouldn't you feel some kind of responsibility? Be like, I left my car there, and then when my homeboy went back the next day, it was gone, and now he just kind of disconnected himself from the situation, and it just doesn't make sense to me. That part right there doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what it does make, but it don't make no goddamn sense. Man, you gotta unravel these lies.
We need to say a prayer for these people in this chat
Yeah.
because they
That's
are
because the
truly
chat was
lost.
tearing her
Mad.
up. I was in that goddamn chat. I got timed out. That chat was tearing her motherfucking ass up. I don't know what she thought. She always pop in like people gonna change what they got to say because she there. Bitch, don't nobody like you.
They're mad.
There's a verse in the Bible, for they will not believe the truth. I will send them strong delusion and allow them to believe a lie.
Girl.
Now let's talk about that verse in the Bible she mentioned. The verse in the Bible she mentioned said, for they will not believe the truth. I will send them a strong delusion and allow them to believe a lie. She has elevated herself already to such a degree that it doesn't even make any sense. Her delusions of grandeur are laughable. For they, so God is sending, because we won't believe the truth, which is that there was a car fire. God is sending a strong delusion so that we'll be caught up to believe a lie. For what? See, what you got to stop doing is using scripture in such a way. That's blasphemy. What she just did, and she calls herself she said to Tokyo Tony that she confessed her risen Savior Jesus Christ, so she confessed to be a Christian, and you just committed blasphemy because you put into God's mouth something that nigga never said. God wasn't talking about you, Jaguar. God wasn't talking about you. If that fire was the truth, God ain't sending no strong delusion so people believe a lie for you. Who the fuck are you? What the scripture was actually talking about was people who didn't believe the gospel and chose to believe a lie. And so they got caught up in that lie to such a degree to where they couldn't get out of it. And to be honest with you, what that was really talking about was religion and how people refuse their own selves as the truth. So they get caught up in this religion and get caught up in it so deep that they can't get out. Now they stuck in a lie. Harder to come to terms with who you are to become who you need to be, bitch. Now stop lying on me, because I didn't say that. I didn't say that people were going to go and believe a lie because of you. Oh, I don't know you. I don't know you. Don't ever put words in my mouth. Misusing scripture. I can't tell you how many times I sat in a pulpit and had to call out what was really being said. Niggas just open their mouth and say what the fuck ever. You're gonna sit here and just take us.
So where does y'all delusion? Maybe all of y'all need to take
You are
some
the
lithium,
delusion.
because clearly you're big mad and you're not in control of your thoughts and your feelings,
Mad
because the
at
shit that you're
what?
writing, it's one thing to think it, it's another thing to take the time to type it out and not realize how fucking stupid you sound.
You sound mad dumb. I'm like, look at the picture.
Never said
and
That
press
so now
send.
we're supposed to believe that picture, but not the first one that you said was evidence of the fire. Come on, man. Don't do this to people. Not everybody is going to take the time to break this shit down. Some people are really holding on to the fact that although you were so close to Jay-Z and P. Diddy to be able to pull out all their skeletons at a moment's notice, you've never met Uncle Ron, even though he was in both of their presence several times over the course of decades. Bitch, you crazy. You crazy. You are twisted. That they say crazy women got some good pussy. And now I
You
see why they niggas
committed
stay
to
with
that insanity. Live online.
you. Put the evidence
So I
out there,
just want to
Jaguar.
send a little shout out to the biggest idiot who asked about why the license plate wasn't burnt up.
Well, I guess that big idiot in our
I'm
chat will be
sorry we
Dominique.
disappointed you with this
Dominique,
fire.
I want to give you.
We wished
Hold
it could have been
on. Dominique, I want to give you a shout out for being the biggest idiot in the chat to ask an obvious motherfucking question. God damn it. How is anybody supposed to know that license plates don't catch on fire? We not the ones always getting locked up and got that situation always happening to where we know that license plates don't catch on fire. We don't know the niggas that make the license plates. How would we know? How many? Okay, because I think Dominique actually has a master's degree in education. I got one in church planting and a bachelor's degree in broadcast production. Other people in here got educations in certain things. I don't think anybody in here got an education on arson. So how would they know? So the biggest idiot in the chat asked the most fucking obvious question. I don't think that makes that person an idiot. I think that makes that person reasonably intelligent to ask an obvious motherfucking question that they don't know the answer to. That's what people do. People ask questions about what they don't know the answer to. But you just expect people to believe what you say and go for it. And then subscribe for $9.99 to a website that is dysfunctional. Damn, I wish my mama was still alive. Because she could get your website together, honey. I didn't know they didn't, honey. I didn't know that. How would I know? That's not what I do. That's not my level of expertise. I don't set cars on fire. So how would I know license plates don't burn? Only people who set cars on fire would know that. So shout outs to the biggest idiot in every single chat room who asked the same goddamn question. Because it's a reasonable fucking question. So now let me ask a smarter one. Have you come to the understanding that all this shit was your fault, Jaguar Wright? That your bad character and your mental illness and your emotional instability and your narcissism, which is a whole bunch of them evidences, caused this to almost happen to your husband. That would have been his big ass head in the back window. Sleeping where he used to beat King.
Better fire. We wish we could
Right.
have. I'm sorry we failed you with this fire.
Do it.
You fucking idiots.
Don't do it.
I was asleep when this
Excuse me.
happened.
You were
I was
asleep
in my
because
bed. I
you were
was just happy
fucking
that my
drunk. You were asleep because you took your anniversary night and went to a bar. I don't know who does that. I mean, I've had some amazing anniversaries with my ex-husband, and I don't know that we ever spent our anniversary night in a bar with me hugged up under a prostitute and her boyfriend, the pimp, and then went to a studio and made some fire ass music that nobody will ever hear. I don't know that that's what I would ever decide to do with my anniversary. Girl, this woman is. Where my dragon's blood at? Mm-mm.
husband made it back because we had had too much to drink.
You was asleep because you stupid. How do you have
He
too much
said
to drink at
something ain't feel
45
right
years old?
with the car, and he had thought that we had been being followed.
He said something wasn't right with the car because it's a fucking Kia. Look at them little ass tires. Look at them bald ass mother. You know what? Y'all, look at them tires. Look at them tires. Look at them tires, y'all. It was something wrong with the car. It wasn't driving right. I'm sure the fire didn't cause the impact in the front end. Look at them tires, homie. And the impact at the back. This car done been through it. And I still ain't seen Jaguar roll up to a goddamn oil change. As I said before, I did see her roll up to McDonald's a couple years ago and her cart got declined for $1.99. But I ain't never seen her roll up to a Jiffy Lube or a Kia dealership. This is you. This is your life. Anybody remember that show that used to come on? This is your life. This is
That
your
happens a lot
motherfucking
these days.
life.
Thanks, King World,
She's
for
saying
that.
King. First,
Thanks,
first it
King World,
was
for the constant.
first it was P Diddy. No, 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 no. It was Sean. Was Sean Combs is P Diddy or Jay Z? Was it Jay Z or P Diddy? Oh, yeah, because Jay Z was in L.A. at the same time. No, when the car got caught on fire, wasn't Jay Z in Dubai with Beyonce doing the remix to "Drunken Love" that I've been waiting to hear her perform for 15 years? He ain't never performed "Drunken Love" live. Nobody catches up with that. Man, I've been waiting for that forever. But wasn't he somewhere else? Was it? Did she say it was Jay Z? I think she said it was Jay Z that did the fire, right? The lady said it was a fucking burn job. And then she said it was P. Diddy, right? And then we all agreed that it had to be Johnny Carson because he's the grandfather of them all. But now it's King World, which is a blogger who her husband gave a shout out to when he said, "What marriage?" Y'all don't be paying attention. Nigga, we be
Company that
watching
we don't
everything you
invite
do.
into our life. You motherfucker, the FBI is coming for you, bitch. King Twirl.
Is
Squidward.
is the FBI coming for Jaguar Wright for pimping all them girls back in the 2000s? Mm, 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 mm. Should we be expecting Jaguar Wright to have any depositions or any testimonies or spend any time or prison because of all them girls she pimped? Because I had been saying that for a long time and I simply just forgot until she mentioned it again in this interview. I forgot this bitch used to be a pimp and a drug dealer
Fuck you.
and a ghostwriter.
That's my fucking car.
Here comes the
We
story.
picked up King in that car.
You mean the dog your husband beat? The dog your husband would punch in the ribs for no reason? He still can't say that dog ever did anything, ever tried to bite anybody, attacked anybody, or looked at him sideways. You picked up the dog that you allowed your husband to abuse until you had to take that dog somewhere, but never took your husband down to the animal control so he could serve his time for what they call it, y'all. When you mean the animals, they got laws here in America about that shit. You can't just fuck up an animal. I loved it in China because them dogs would chase me. Listen, I be telling people, I'll kill your dog. Keep playing with me. You're gonna wake up and your dog gonna be dead. Shout outs to China for having fake antifreeze. But anyway, you pick now she's about to give us the emotional part of it because y'all, I learned how to write sermons. I'm a preacher. I was licensed to preach in 1999. I am an orator. So I understand very clearly how the flow of these things go. I also understand the person who's bipolar and all these different personalities that come out in the same conversation. Fuck, one day we're going to have to sit here and give them a name. Animal cruelty. Thank you. She never had her husband prosecuted for animal cruelty. She kept that secret until she hated him enough and he had no value to her business and she threatened to kill him because he was worthless to her. Then she started telling it. We picked up King in that car
When he was just a pup.
when he was just a pup.
Y'all watched King grow up in that car.
Did we ever watch your husband beat him? Did you videotape that? so the animal control could see it? When you dropped him off at a ranch, did you tell them why King might have some scars internally, some bleeding, some hernias, ulcers from stress? Why King might be scared more than normal? Because you got him as a pup. When I saw King in Phoenix, King was a full grown dog, at least 2 or 3. So how long were you beating him? Because y'all been married for 4 years and 23 days. We saw King grow up. You didn't give a fuck about King. You left that dog in the car one day for 5 or 6 hours in the heat so you could vacuum your house or wherever you were staying to get ready for some people to come over for dinner. And the police were called, excuse me, because your dog was in a hot car. Bitch, quit playing. We gonna call this personality Suzette. This is Suzette. Because she playing white woman games, honey. Like, we don't remember. Honey, I believe it was July in Texas, and the police were called and they stood outside your car for an hour and nobody came outside to check on that dog, and they broke in the car and let him out. You put that on Instagram. You put that on Instagram. I wouldn't know it if you didn't tell it. The breakdown. I wouldn't know it if you didn't tell it. Let's stop sitting here playing these games with people's minds about a dog that you didn't give a fuck about. And your
He still
husband
had
beat you.
his hair in some of the material in that car.
That means you didn't shampoo the fucking seats, you nasty bitch. And
I
that's where
drove
your husband was
cross
gonna sleep.
country to see my baby in that car. I remember the day me and my husband got that car because it was so I could start Lyft driving again, because
I remember the day I bought my car too. Because it's on the registration and it's on the title and it's on the paperwork. I remember when I came back to America, Dominic, you were with me, and I went and bought a car so I could do Uber and DoorDash to get on my feet so that I could be able to rebuild my life coming back from China. So, bitch, what are you doing? You got more emotion trying to connect us with a car than whoever did this. And the cause that you champion that would make somebody so angry with you that they want to take your life because you're so righteous. Why are you trying to
didn't
fuck
want to
prostitutes?
music. I couldn't fuck with the music game like that.
No, the
We
music
were running up against.
you, bitch. See, you forget. You forget. You done already told us the T, bitch. The music game wasn't fucking with you. You came out with a whole EP nobody bought and tried to sell through Cash App. Bitch, you be forgetting. Hey, people weren't fucking with you. They weren't fucking with your music. It wasn't that you couldn't fuck with the music game. The music game wasn't fucking with you. Wasn't nobody buying your shit. So you did what most of us do. You went and did something, got a little side hustle. But some of us were able to get a job because we have employable skills, and we spent our younger years, instead of chasing dick and trying to build a fledgling music career, we actually got like educations. It ain't everybody else's fault that you're a failure. You wasn't fucking with music, but you was making music 2 weeks ago with a bitch in a studio and her pimp boyfriend while your husband was throwing up. But you don't fuck with music. You was making a video with Solar while your husband was standing off to the
So
side.
much opposition in Dallas fucking coming from Badu because they were jealous we were down here and we were making inroads and we were making strides to unite the
Erica
community
Badu is
rather than
jealous
keeping it separate so she can continue to keep taking advantage of it.
because
I
Erica
was just
Badu
gonna go
takes
back to Lyft
advantage.
driving and just keep ghostwriting. That's why I bought that fucking car.
Erica Badu has a studio in her house. She don't have to go meet up with pimps in a record studio because she want to eat their girlfriend's pussy. She has her own studio. You know, there's a limiting mindset. Let's talk about it for a second. A limiting mindset that people who've done that are successful are that way because of something they did that was oh, she been mad at Badu, baby. Girl. Um there's a limiting mindset that successful are that way because they did something evil. What you're saying is the only way to be successful is to be evil. No, the only way to be successful is to be consistent and talented. Erica Badu is. She's consistent. She's got albums. She's been on tours. She's had one band for 20 years. Excuse me, probably 23 by now. They stopped rehearsing about 15, 20 years ago. That's how good they are together. That's how much chemistry they have together. She's got an actual website. She does charge for some elements of their website, and they're good. She's got this incense, Badu Pussy. She got an incense. I mean, she's got enterprises. She sent her son to college to learn um, agricultural biology so that he could learn ways to grow plants and grow food. And her son started a farm in the backyard of the house that she owns without having to take advantage of her mother. You're talking about a woman who don't have the scandal or bad relationships behind her that, and you spend so much energy trying to make somebody look bad that we all love, honey. She's never done anything to us, honey. People love her. She's changed people's lives for the good. And Eric Badu don't go around talking about people's dirty laundry because it's not necessary. Now you mad at Erica Badu. Did Erica Badu do this too? Oh, Erica Badu was trying to get you out of Houston. Was it that easy? I ain't never been ran out of nowhere. No, I heard you were put out of Houston. It was in Houston? Man, I gotta verify that before I say that out loud. Because that one's crazy.
Car. But I wasn't able to lift drive anymore
Oh,
because I had been arrested for child abduction. And even though I wasn't
I remember
convicted,
that.
it's still on my shit. So I could no longer lift drive.
I remember that when you went and got Sam
So
and
I
he
had
didn't
no
want to be
choice
got.
but to go back to music.
You didn't take Sam too. I remember that. Bitch,
I
we've been
wasn't going to
watching
go
you
back to drugs.
selling them. She was doing that too.
I
Selling
wasn't going to
drugs
go
in
back
the
to pimping
community.
bitches.
Pimping bitches in the
I wasn't going to go
community.
back to the streets.
I'm trying to find like every single y'all. She keep telling y'all about these other niggas. It's her. It's her. The pedophile, the drug dealer, the pimp. It's her. She just said it. She got so much on Jay-Z that she could take him down, but she's never met Uncle Ron, who knows Jay-Z personally. But she is all those things. Don't you know that in business and in the music industry, it is a cutthroat, dirty, 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 dirty motherfucking game. People get killed. I know Baby done some bodies. I know personally. Okay? People get all kinds for businesses to grow. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You do what you got to do business so I can get X. Now, what Jaguar Wright is mad at is that she did all the same shit them niggas did, and she still wasn't successful. We're going to call a thing, because this is not a no judgment zone. We judge over here. She was upset because she did all the same shit that P. Diddy did. She did all the same shit that Clive Davis did. She did all the same shit that Lucille Ball did and Dorothy Dandridge did, and she still wasn't motherfucking successful.
That car, I bought it for a work vehicle. And we worked in that car.
Oh, we worked in that car. Raise your hand if you've ever done DoorDash or Lyft or Uber or I I won't tell your insurance company or the company that funds your loan for your car, but raise your hand if you've ever used your car to make money. I bought my Ford Fiesta when I got back from China. I bought that car for $12,700. I made that money back in like 3 months doing DoorDash, doing Grubhub, doing Postmates. What the fuck does that have to do with this? We 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 bought that car to work. We was gonna get the girls free from the system that Harvey Weinstein put them in by delivering plates from house to house during the pandemic. Bitch, do you realize there was a time that I was out in the street one night and I realized every single car that was around me was delivering food or driving somebody somewhere? But bitch, you want a cookie for getting a independent contracting job that you couldn't keep because you had a record, for stealing your son and not following the laws that are a part of a custody? Bitch, you the one cheated on your husband and got divorced. He divorced you because you cheated on him. So then you didn't want to follow the ordinances of the court when it came to custody. Bitch, you husband, he found you with another nigga in New York, and you had that nigga fight him. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Baby, you got a pattern that is ugly, honey. And I used to love the things that you would say. I would click
Took that
whenever I
car
saw
from
your
where
name.
it
Then I got
was
to the point where I was like, I don't want to
and
hear
did
nothing that bitch
that
got to
to
say.
it.
Somebody took that car from
That
where it
wasn't
was
just the car.
and did that to it. We're going to call this part of the personality Cicely, because she getting real Cicely Tyson right here.
That was a part of our family. A third of my
Notice she's not on camera. She's turned her camera off. In a moment, she's going to say, I'm going to come back to the camera. Bitch, I stay on camera. What you emoting. You are emoting. You are in a cathartic moment where you are releasing yourself, but you're not on camera. In an honest moment like this, the host of the show has to change the pictures to keep it interesting. What they got to do with this shit? This shit is crazy. It's some people that never get on their kids for lying. My mama and daddy whooped my ass. You can't raise kids that think this kind of behavior is normal. Then they'll grow up to be Umar
fucking
Johnson and
content
Jaguar
was
Wright.
filmed in that car.
In that car. Because that's where you lived. Of course, a third of your content was filmed in that car.
And somebody,
I mean, like 100% of my content is filmed on a cruise or in my house because that's where I am.
decided that they were going to take that from us. They might have been hoping to take us with the fucking car, you pieces
Well,
of shit.
let me ask you a question. If somebody was hoping to take you with that car, you said you drank too much. After you went to the studio, after you went to the bar, and then you guys went back to the hotel, and your husband was out driving, and he said, I'm out somewhere, I don't know where I am, in the middle of the night. Those were his words. I'm probably paraphrasing, but that's what he meant. Which meant that car got burnt up, blew up after midnight. How would you be in it? I'm not in my car after midnight. How would you have been in it? The only way anybody could have been in it was because your husband was getting frustrated with your behavior, your whorish, scandalous, dirty, nasty behavior, putting your mouth on women you don't even know and then want to take them same lips back to him and your child. And he would have been in that car asleep because of who? I just want to make sure. Because of who? Because one of the most powerful words you can ever say in this situation is me, bitch. Y'all, this crazy shit. Drop on down and throw a like in there if you haven't yet. I really would appreciate it. It helps the algorithm. If you believe that what I'm saying is the truth, if we on point, go ahead and throw a like, share this, whatever, whatever, whatever. Cause man,
This is my life. You're looking at
that's your
all
life.
of this for your entertainment. Every last one of you bitches who sat there.
I'm gonna stop it right now because I'm gonna let it play for a minute. She said that we saw this for our entertainment. Ask me where we got this from. Ask me who we got this from, bitch. We got this from you. Now, if it's for our entertainment, it's because you chose to entertain. Fucking baboon. You put this shit out here. You know how much of my
Fucking
shit
lied on
nobody
me and
knows
said
because
that
I
we
don't put it
made
out
this
there.
shit up. You owe me fucking money. Every
You owe me
content
money.
creator that made
Who's this one? Is this Jaguar? Are we slipping down into Jaguar? Is that this part of the personality? Because we've heard Suzette and we heard Cicely. Are we slipping
money
down
off of
into
those
Jaguar?
thumbnails, calling me a liar, saying that
She said if you made money off of the thumbnails, because that's what all this is about to her. This isn't about the truth. Y'all, I'm not monetized because I actually have like a income, a career, a way of making money to support my family that doesn't include YouTube. And if I ever get monetized on YouTube again, then I'll be happy to be. But I chose to unmonetize myself when they started shadow banning me for talking about what was happening, for talking about in the black thing happened when I posted the video that read out the FBI's report calling black people identity extremists if we talk about police brutality. Oh, I started getting shadow banned. All of a sudden, I started getting shadow banned. So I demonetized myself because why are you getting ad revenue from me and you're not even releasing my content? You shadow banning me, bitch. So I demonetized myself and started working harder in other areas where I was making money because I have multiple streams of income because I am smart and I am intelligent and I have intuition and I got good karma. You put this shit out here. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is you talking about people making money off of some shit you put out here. I haven't made a dime. This is a labor of love for me. I meditated. My daughter tell you, I went in my bathroom and locked the door and meditated just to get myself together to make sure that what came out was supposed to what came out and what go in was supposed to what go in to balance it before it even started. Because woman, you and your demonic energy is fucking a pain to deal with. Crazy shit. So now people owe you money. Do you realize that people on YouTube only get $3 for every 1,000 views? You are not that hot of a topic, baby. $3 for every 1,000 views. That's the cost per thousand. That's what we learned in when I my minor is in marketing. I have an education in marketing as well. And that's what they call it. CPM, cost per thousand. Our cost per thousand on YouTube is $3. Most advertising pays depending on what time of day, $300 for each 1,000 people that get reached. So YouTube gets a $3,000, $3,000 or whatever that number is, and pays people $3 for every 1,000 people. And you think people owe you money? Bitch, you ain't a hot topic. You ain't Beyonce. You ain't Fantasia. You ain't Lettucey. You ain't Jill Scott. You ain't Erica Badu. You ain't Michelle Obama. You ain't a whole lot of bitches that bring in views. You ain't. Don't nobody owe you shit. There has not been a person that released a video about you that's gotten 1,000,000 views or 100,000. You're not that hot of a topic, honey. You're like the Chitlin Circuit. You owe me money because your thumbnail. Well, that thumbnail you gave the data for. You gave the data for the thumbnail. This man just said he created the picture of the car fire. I believe you dressed yourself for that photo, and so did your husband. So what are you talking about? Everybody used the same thumbnail that came from your sources. You have two main sources and you release the data to them. They release the data to us and we released it. So who owes you money for your thumbnails? And this is when she started talking about her son. Like she didn't release it to release and he found out from us. This woman is nuts. And I want you to see Sean's face as she says it. This is a decision that he had to make. This woman is nuts. Fuck. She
You
is
got
crazy.
defamation character suits coming up for you because you're trying to.
Have you ever defamation? Now, mind you, I got a bachelor's degree, bachelor in science in mass communications with a focus in broadcast production. So I know defamation. I know libel, I know slander. I know it. I studied it. Okay? Nobody has defamed her character. And in order to have a defamation of character suit, you have to prove damages. You have to prove that your business or your personal finances financially were affected. Baby, on every platform you got on when this was happening, you mentioned the name of your website to drive business. So if anything, there was no defamation. If anything, we helped improve your business. You said that your company is thriving. It wouldn't be thriving if it wasn't for all this. You're the one who, on every platform you get on, surrounding these multiple situations, keeps calling out the name of your business. So, where is the damage? Where can you show that your subscriptions on your website have gone down? Where can you show that your YouTube subscriptions have gone down or your AdSense revenue has gone down? Where can you show a damage? Kids haven't been taken away, haven't lost any income. None. Haven't been incarcerated, which you should have several times in these last 45 days. Where are the damages? You cannot file a Do you know how many times I've seen people start to file a defamation of character suit and then they go to their attorney and find out they can't because there were no damages? Just because somebody says something about you you don't like does not make it defamation. And ma'am, your character is whack. Fucking bitch. Your character is fucking whack. You put out every single piece of data that we examine. You put it out. Where's the defamation, baby? We have a responsibility. Allow me to remind you. Allow me to remind you that we have a responsibility to criticize, comment, report, teach, conduct scholarship, education, and research. That is our responsibility, bitch. And when you put the data out there, we have a responsibility to examine it. You produce your own media, everything, your cell phone, your laptop. Every single thing that people examine is stuff you put out there. Where's the defamation? What's one thing somebody has said that was incorrect that caused damages? Has to be both, bitch, because that's what the law says. What is one thing that anybody has said that is incorrect that caused damages? Nobody would know that you were a pedophile if you didn't come on talking about it. Nobody would know that you were a pimp if you didn't come on talking about it. Nobody would know that you struggle with infidelity if you didn't come on talking about it. Nobody would know that you're an alcoholic if you didn't come on talking about it. Nobody would know that you cheated on both of your husbands over and over and over and over and over again and got them caught up in physical altercations if you didn't talk about it. You put this stuff out there. I said we weren't going to be here for long.
Make me and my husband look like we're something that we're not.
What has anybody made you look like that you're not? Because we haven't made you look stable. We haven't made you look responsible. We haven't made you look like great parents. We haven't made you look like you have a healthy marriage. We haven't made you look like you're financially responsible. We haven't made you look like you're honest. We haven't made you look like you have integrity. We haven't made you look like you're just or you're righteous. We haven't made you look like you're well traveled. Not made you look like you're well educated. We have not made you look like you're well cultured or exposed. We haven't made you look like you are employable. We haven't made you look things. Made you look those ways, then maybe we were lying. Can't nobody make you look the way you look when you turn the camera on, Jacqueline. Can't nobody do that to you. And you done bullied your mama so much, she's scared to tell you the fucking truth because you talk all over. Mama, I don't know why they say these things.
So
Bitch, you
fuck
know why.
you all.
Fuck us all.
I'm gonna turn my camera back on. I want to say it to you
Oh, you
myself.
gonna turn it back on now.
You all.
Fuck us all.
My life is not a game, nor am I.
Fuck us all. Your life is putting silly shit out here. Your life is not a game, but 12 hours after your car was blued up, you talking about fucking a bitch. 23, Puerto Rican and Mexican. And her boyfriend was cool with it, even though your husband wasn't. Your life is not a game, but you sure do press play. And you treat people like a joystick by releasing false proof so that people can squirm around and examine the false proof and then call them liars or stupid because the proof that you released didn't match up with what you said happened. Your life is not a game, baby, but you sure are treating it like one by throwing your son's ashes on strangers, by bringing a nigga around your husband didn't want around, a nigga who comes from a cult of men who come in children's mouths. That's the kind of man you had around your son. A man who doesn't mind, doing things in front of children that children shouldn't see, or participating with certain acts in children that children shouldn't participate in. That's the kind of man you had in your house around your son and your mama. But you let your sick mother eat Whataburger and milkshakes. So your judgment is flawed.
Nor is my husband.
And he got his titties out, Jesus.
We live in that car. You're fucking right. We lived our life in that car. In hotels. Very nice hotels.
Oh my God, I need
and houses.
I need both of them to put on a bra. I'm gonna send them a link. Somebody said, somebody in the comments said she needed to get her boosie fade tightened up. I think I died. I about died. Somebody said, she don't sleep with no do-rag on. I texted my hairdresser today. It's been a while since I've seen him. My schedule changed. So I've been trying to get in there. But Lord, I need to go sit with Bevan. Yeah, she look a mess. Wearing all that army green. I don't understand that. Put on some colors. And some lipstick. God damn. Put some pride into your look. At least a little bit.
We live a very avant-garde lifestyle.
No, you don't. You broke. Like
we're
the
not
rest of
like
us.
you.
You are not avant-garde. What you are is unemployable and unstable. That's what you are. You get by. That's what you do. You get by. It's not avant-garde. You're not eclectic millionaires. You tried to spin that tale to us at the beginning, Jaguar, when you were in the basement or wherever you were when you first did that interview with Storm, who your husband calls booty juice, which doesn't make sense to me because he can't fuck you in the ass. He can't bring himself to give you something that you want because he's afraid it'll bring out his bisexual man. That's the real tea. How your husband call another nigga booty juice and say he fucking another nigga, but your husband can't give you the anal pleasure you desire because he's afraid it's gonna make him gay because he really does want to eclectic and avant-garde are completely different than living in a Kia Soul with your dog and stealing your mama's social security check.
Caring for something more. See, the world is about to change drastically.
Oh, God, the prophecy.
And 90% of you aren't you're just not prepared.
There's something people do when they make justification for their lack of responsibility. Her and her husband have been living in their car because the world is about to change and we aren't prepared. I'm going to tell you what the world is about to change into. The world is about to change into a feudal society again where the owners live and the renters die. But you choose to live in a car instead of buy property. It's just a contradiction. Where's the world going? Where are the details on this thing? What information do you have to share with us that will prepare us and empower us for what's about to happen? Or are you just going to self-righteously, judgmentally, and dogmatically tell us we're not prepared for this change that we don't know nothing about? Because your husband watched tank videos on YouTube all day instead of fucking you in the ass like you really want him to. You know why he won't fuck you in the ass? Because you look like a nigga. There, I said it.
But we are. So
You're
maybe
ready.
you might want to start making friends with the Johnsons, because when this shit shifts, you're going to wish you had friends like us.
Friends like you. And here she's gonna go on to tell us what that means, because she's about on Davy Way show into thinking that she's got some exclusive. She did the same shit with Storm at the end of her first or second interview with him. Storm, I've got an exclusive for you. I'm gonna call this part of her personality Diana. She gets into this conversation where she starts to talk like the people from what was that soap opera my mama used to watch? Dynasty. Sean, you're going to be so happy you're my friend because I've got an exclusive for you. You're going to be a star, darling. Everything's going to be amazing, darling. They're going to love you. I'm so proud of what you're going to do with this opportunity that I'm going to give you. Aren't you glad you're my friend? I remember Nene Leakes would tell people that she was a great friend to them because she would take them with her on vacation. But she would treat them like shit. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
You got.
Jazzy, how many more questions you got? Jazzy, how many more questions you got?
I only got one more.
What's your last question?
Can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show?
No, but I will share some for you personally.
All right.
What you're doing now doesn't define who you are. Everything you do when the cameras are off, that's what defines you.
That's
So
what
you have
defines
to
you.
be just as great on the camera as you are off the camera and vice versa.
You got to treat
That
people right.
means that if you have a good day like today, you interview someone, don't let this make or break you. How you treat your family and your friends and other people off the camera, that's just as important.
Right.
How you treat your husband when you're at a bar on your anniversary, or when he leaves the house because there's a man around that he doesn't want around, and he says don't have that nigga in my house, and then he comes home and that nigga's walking out of your bedroom with you in it. You know, how you treat people is what defines you. That's what defines you. Not the exclusive that you can share
Now, if
with other
something don't
bloggers.
happen the way you want it to happen in your
Before we even
career,
get into that,
you do not go and cry and pout and think
something does not career, say it was Sean Puffy Combs or P Diddy, I think that's the same person, or Sean Quarter or Wayne Quarter. You don't say it's them. Do you know how many failures many of us have had to endure in our careers? I went to China. That was my retirement plan. And then the pandemic hit after I've been telling them niggas to wash their hands for 4 years. And I had to come back here with nothing and start over with a zero credit score because I left the country with debt cleared. So I had nothing coming back. I had to literally Grubhub, Postmates, and what the other one, DoorDash, until I could get I started a business and then got a major client that looks like a job so that I could get back on my feet. I didn't go and boo-hoo about China. You're not going to see one thing I've ever posted or put out there that says it's China's fault I don't have what I want right now. Me, I'm the one that does the work. When you're successful and you've been successful, you know that it's the hard work that makes it stable, that makes it steady. But if you've never been in anything long enough to be successful and stayed in it through the ups and downs, you'll never know that it ain't nobody's fault that you're a failure. You'll think it's everybody else's fault.
it's the end of the world. It's not. You hear me?
Yep.
Promise?
Promise.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm fucking saying. Why you talking about defamation suits? Can't nobody defame something that don't exist.
You fucking
You
weak
are a figment of
bitches.
our imagination. You are a figment. Nobody really knows who you are.
And that's all I got to say about that, Sean.
Oh Lord.
I love you.
She
I
changed her
fucking love you.
personality. Like, god
You
damn.
liar.
I know. That's
She's a
all we
freaking
do.
liar.
He
Oh
won.
my God.
Look, Goomba
She's
put
a
a shirt on.
freaking liar.
He
Ew, get in here. She's a freaking liar.
won. Oh, did we? We
Yeah, she
did.
is a
Oh, we
liar.
do.
We know she's a liar. I mean, didn't she say on this same platform she's sitting on right now that Conscious TV reached out to her and asked her if she would be on a platform with Storm, and she told him, "I can find 15 minutes for you. Anything more than that, you're going to have to pay me a stack." Didn't he say that was a lie and he had to release receipts? We watched those videos together. Didn't she say Uncle Ron is saying the same exact thing she is, but we can't find one thing they're saying that's the same? I mean, yeah, you're a liar. You are. You're a liar. People who lie are liars. And if you catch a person in a lie more than a couple times, I mean, it's fair to say that a person who braids hair is a hair braider, or a person who sings is a singer. A person who lies is a liar. A person who scams is a scammer.
Wanted receipts, right?
Yeah, this boom. You can call the toe y'all just said.
Ask
For me, y'all.
and
Y'all
you
mad.
shall receive.
Y'all mad.
Ask and you
Nobody
shall
cares about the
receive.
fire.
There's your
And see, here's
receipt,
the thing.
bitch.
I was in the chat to this. I was in the chat of this live. And I went back and read the chat again yesterday. Nobody in that chat was trying to debunk this fire. Didn't nobody give a fuck about this fire. Everybody was saying, Jaguar, you are a menace to the community. You put your mouth on everybody else, but what's really going on with you? You make black women look stupid. Are you going to be faithful to your husband this week? Are you going to stop telling lies on people and stop bringing out everybody's dirty laundry when nobody gives a fuck? Are you going to stop having such negative energy? Nobody give a fuck about this fire. Nobody did. You can go back and look at the live. What nobody debunking this motherfucker? Nobody care about the fire. It's not even about the fire because that's not even what she mentioned first. It wasn't important enough to her. Let me let this play so we can get out of here. We almost done.
They're mad.
Now we just have to wait for the investigation.
We are
This is when I
absolutely
joined. I think
do.
this was about the point
And
when I
that's gonna
joined.
be fake too. We're gonna be lying about that as well, I guess.
Well, I mean, they can go and talk to Allstate. I know Allstate ain't gonna be faking about no investigation because they're gonna have to run a check.
I cannot.
So you can go. My agent's name is Marie.
Let me tell you something. I told you before I was an insurance adjuster for a little while back in the early 2000s, just after I finished my career enterprise in management. I've had to launch these investigations before. Not every car fire that comes before you is something that should be investigated. Some car fires make sense and you pay out. Some car fires, you be like, something's not right. Either they're not answering the phone when I call, or they have a negative attitude when I ask questions, or they seem very lackadaisical about it, or the details of the physical evidence don't make sense, and you have to go and you have to click a couple buttons and have an investigator attached to it. If there's an investigation, that means the insurance company thinks they're lying about what happened. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put that thing out there just like that, just like that right there. If there is an investigation, the insurance company doesn't believe them. Because no insurance company is going to pay for an investigation if they believe you. I've had several car fires. I think I worked as an adjuster for a couple years. I've had several car fires come across. I've only had to launch an investigation on maybe 3. And all 3, when we pulled them credit reports, when we pulled the bank records, when we pulled the pay stubs, when we pulled the financials, we found so much debt. And then when we have the actual physical investigation of the fire done, we find out they started it themselves. I'm trying to figure out how P. Diddy got in the car to start the fire. Or Jay-Z, because Jay-Z was in LA. Him and his wife were at the Grammys. She had just finished that amazing concert in Dubai. And he was with her too. You and Goomba were in, you know, Phoenix, Arizona, celebrating your anniversary. I believe I believe Jay-Z and Beyonce celebrated their wedding anniversary in Italy this year. Maybe that's why you mad. Maybe that's why you mad. Because these people are living better than you. They won not to play. But I digress. Again. Man, this lady is a rant waiting to happen. And I can call you a lady. You can't call that little girl a lady, can you? You can't muster up the respect to call her a lady.
Yeah. You can call her.
Anybody call her Maria?
And ask her how things are going with my claim.
They would have paid it out if they believed you.
Oh,
by
since
now.
I don't have insurance, right?
They would have paid it out if they believed you.
They said that
no insurance company's gonna launch an
investigation. My
agent
they believe you. For Allstate for my claim. Her name is Maria.
Your agent or your adjuster?
Call Maria, girl, because you know they will.
Because agents don't handle claims.
Well, unfortunately, when you fuck around with me, there's a chance the circus might come along.
You are the circus. You're an elephant.
I cannot. Well, you didn't lie, so I'm just glad that I can be vindicated as well.
And watch this. Watch what she go into.
Like,
that's the
you
next
guys
most important thing.
Jag lies out to the. I'm like, no, she didn't lie. She didn't lie. But I mean, hey, y'all, if that's what you want to go with, you go right ahead. So again, I even told you, I said with receipts, they're still gonna say we lied.
Now hear this. I am declaring the shift in this paradigm we call.
Oh my God, y'all. I went to New Birth. One of the creepiest, spookiest Christian churches on the planet. That church really was a cult. And that would happen all the time. We'd be sitting there singing songs to Jesus. And somebody would yell out, usually it was the bishop or somebody, "Now hear this. I am declaring a shift in the atmosphere." Usually there came an offering not long after it. That's usually what it was. It usually was a call for more money. Hold on, I fucked up. I got to get us back to the right place. My bad, y'all. Now hear this. I'm declaring a shift. How can you declare a shift? You're on lithium. You're not clear enough to declare a shift. You're not stable enough to stand trial. How can you declare a shift?
I can't wait to see you do this. This is
oh God, that's when she start pimp talking him. Hold on. Sorry, I went too far. That's when she start picking. I have an exclusive for you. Oh, champagne in an Aston Martin. Bitch, don't nobody know you. If you got so many connections, how come ain't none of them on your website?
So fuck you all.
Oh God, here we go. I'm just gonna let this play. Y'all deserve to hear this.
Camera back.
Fuck you
I
all.
want to say it to you myself. Fuck you all.
We doing R&B videos.
My life is not a game, nor am I.
She look like Jagged Edge.
Nor is my husband. We live in that car. You're fucking
that
right.
nigga knew she was on live and came up here with all them titties.
Hotels. Very nice hotels.
Which ones?
And houses. We live a very avant-garde lifestyle. We're not like you. We're preparing for something more.
Because we get paid twice a month.
See, the world is about to change drastically. And 90% of you aren't you're just not prepared.
You got your meals ready to eat?
But we are. So maybe you might want to start making friends with the Johnsons, because when this
You
shit
got your water bottles
shifts,
in the back of your
you're gonna
car?
wish you had friends like us.
Gonna wish I had friends like
You
you.
fucking weak bitches.
Weak bitches. That's so random.
That's all I got to say about that show.
Random. Fucking weak bitches.
I love you.
I fucking love you. You liar.
I know.
She's a
all we
freaking
do.
liar.
You
Oh,
won.
Lord. She's a freaking liar. Ew, get it in here. She's a freaking liar.
We won. Oh, did we? We did. Oh, we do.
They wanted receipts, right?
Yeah. This boom. You can call it total.
Boom, ain't that what that car did?
Ask
Boom.
and
Y'all
you
mad.
shall receive.
Y'all mad.
I don't think I'm
Ask
mad.
and you shall receive. There's your receipt.
I'm mad because you haven't been
bitch.
incarcerated for pimping girls yet. I'm mad because your husband hasn't been prosecuted for animal
Amen.
cruelty.
Now we just have to wait for the investigation.
We absolutely do.
And why would there
And
be
that's
one if
gonna
the
be fake
insurance
too. We're
company
gonna be lying
believed
about
you?
that as well, I guess.
Well, I mean, they can go and talk to Allstate. I know Allstate ain't gonna be faking about no investigation because they're gonna have to run a check.
I cannot.
So you can go. My agent's name is Maria. You can call her
Her agent would
and
never
ask
know
her
anything
how
about a claim.
how things are going with my claim.
Her agent would never know because claims are
Oh,
run by
since I don't
adjusters,
have
not agents.
insurance, right?
Her agent doesn't
Yeah,
even
that was it
have
too.
access to
They
the
said they didn't have
information.
insurance.
Yeah, my agent for Allstate for my claim. Her
As a matter of fact, Allstate doesn't have agents.
name is Maria.
Jack, don't have people call her Maria, girl, because you know they will.
Ain't nobody calling Maria.
Unfortunately, when you fuck around with me, there's a chance the circus might come along.
Like a big butted elephant.
I cannot. Well, you didn't
Elephants are
lie, so
majestic.
I'm just glad that
I heard.
I can be vindicated as well, because people was coming for us, like, oh, you guys were feeding Jag lies out to the. I'm like, no, she didn't lie. She didn't lie. But I mean, hey, y'all, if that's what you want to go with, you go right ahead. So again, I even told you, I said, which receipts? They're still gonna say we lied. I'm like,
Now hear this.
That's where we were.
I am declaring the shift in this paradigm we call YouTube.
That doesn't even make sense.
All you jealous motherfuckers who wish you were us, you should have been nicer to us.
YouTube isn't a paradigm, it's a platform.
You know what happens when you're friends with me? You get real fucking exclusives.
You know what? Forgive me. I also am credentialed to be an English teacher. So I'm also educated in the language of English and words. YouTube is not a paradigm. A paradigm is an idea, a mentality, a way of thinking and living. That's what a paradigm is. Bitch, stop making shit up. You just lied on the whole word. YouTube is a platform. It's a website.
From real celebrities.
Now hear this.
You don't have to make shit up and look for fucking B and C and D fucking characters that probably never met the person you're talking about. Booty juice.
Oh, Lord.
That man ain't thinking about her. He probably somewhere
when
right
you're friends
now.
with me, you actually get to meet real celebrities who are actually my friends. Sean, I can't wait for the exclusive I'm handing you. I can't wait to
Here go the bullshit.
see you do this. This is going to be brilliant.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
No.
Man, I swear them pastors do this shit. I'm going to put you as my youth pastor. I'm going to have you over the choir. All this bullshit. This woman, do you realize how unconnected she is? People know who she is, but this man said last week that he wanted to reach out to her, and everybody, this man, I forget his name, but he used to run with Jay-Z. And he said everybody around him has said, don't fuck with her. She crazy. She bipolar. She gonna turn on you. I said she's just trying to get some dick. Because, she's not above it. She's not above it. Nobody.
Oh no, don't be nervous. You're so ready for this. You're my Bryant Gumbel.
You're my brain gumble, honey, darling.
I'm excited. I am
Don't
very
she sound like
excited
an
now.
agent? One of them doggone Hollywood
You should
agents.
be,
Yeah.
because you're gonna knock this motherfucker out the park.
Who?
Mm.
Who
The
Jaguar?
girls are
Don't
gonna.
Who? Cause didn't you promise Storm
you
an
wish we were
exclusive
still
with
friends,
somebody?
booty juice?
And you ain't come through with that yet? That was years
This
ago.
is a hell of
Don't you wish you could be my friend,
Sean is smart enough to know.
Haggises and
He's
Crypt
smarter than
Keeper,
that.
Sherry and Perry?
See, one thing I completely understand about the Sean Davy Way show is this man has a life and a family and a financial support system. He's got leadership on a couple different platforms. He doing his thing. So he ain't dependent on her imaginary exclusive for nothing. He's got his own following already. And he focuses on things that matter. Shout outs to him for bringing this to us, though. It just is amazing me how she goes in and out from this to that and personalities and mm.
So
Bringing in something a little special, just trying to make it work.
how do you feel about you been mighty quiet lately?
I don't know. Maybe she's trying to find a way to put a hit out on Michael Stovall for telling everybody her pussy ain't got no walls.
I have no idea who she's talking about. Did anybody know? Because I have no idea. She just went
You know,
from one
That's
subject to a whole different one, just like that.
she can come and she can get whatever the fuck she looking for, but I promise you this ain't what she want.
And she gonna sue people for defamation.
And I smack the shit out of her husband too. He looked like he'll fall real quick, just like hit him right in the kidney, like dang. And
She's
you know
saying
my
this
husband
shit,
gonna be standing right there, so nigga, you gonna lay down
slow punching
because
nigga.
you don't want to get
She's
solar.
putting herself on a platform saying these statements, and she wants to sue someone for defamation for making her and her husband out to be somebody they're not. We've never said that you're nonviolent. What do you mean we're making you out to be somebody you're not? We've never said you were sane and you could communicate well and you were stable and you were mature. What do you mean we're making you out to be somebody you're not? We never said those great things about you. Baby, you put yourself on this bitch with no lipstick, chapstick, Blistex,
Oh, not so
Carmex. Oh, I just don't understand.
You don't want to get that good training.
Somebody said that was a boosie fade. That nigga was
Not
slow
so
punching that
They need
nigga.
to sit their old
Somebody
asses down.
wait. You know I was in the comments. Somebody said that Goomba was tickling Solar. Solar down there talking about some I love you, bro. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I love you.
Somewhere before they get hurt.
I could not.
Fucking around in these
Tickling.
YouTube streets.
Tickling that nigga watching tank videos all day. Coming to
There is
reality.
someone else though that I need to have a
That's about the
private
end of it.
conversation with you about.
Yeah, make it private.
No. It needs to be private because I think this might be something we need to pay a little attention to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you know,
We need to talk.
oh yeah, we need to talk.
Yes.
Yeah, we should do that.
You should pay
Okay.
attention to the fact that you look like a pedophile
So
on camera by talking about a 23-year-old woman, and what she's about to say is disgusting. That's what you should
and
pay
by the
attention
way,
to.
that was a subliminal conversation between me and my friend. Now,
That's her friend. They've never met. But that's her friend.
this is
You
what
know that man ain't
happens
stupid.
when you have pure
That
intention
man is not stupid.
and
He's
your
very
pure
intelligent.
heart and you're really trying to do good. Fucking dumbass motherfuckers who enjoy the bullshit.
What deterred me from wanting to be a reporter when I finished college was that you would have to have relationships with slime balls like this to get information and exclusives and quotes. You would have to have relationships with motherfuckers like her who you couldn't really trust and know for sure if what they were saying was real, but you knew that if you put it out there and said they said it, it was going to be had to retract that it wasn't true. That's why I decided not to become a. Who wants to sit here and have these kind of conversations with a person and not be able to say this bitch lying? And she about to lie on Sean Davy Way in a minute. I hope he caught it. Shout outs to everybody who's still here. Thank you for hanging in there.
Hate
Whew.
on you. Fuck you. Fuck every last one of you.
Fuck
You owe me
somebody else.
money,
Everybody getting fucked.
and I'm coming to collect.
She's coming to collect.
Oh, they owe me money.
They owe her
Ooh, I
$3.
They owe me money. They owe my husband money. They owe my son money.
She is not a hot topic, honey.
Do you know what that was like for him when he found out the car blew up?
Oh, I love him.
Sam was so worried.
They owe her son money. I say we, but I didn't announce it. I think I talked about it days later, so I couldn't possibly be included. They owe her son money because he found out before she. So she had to have told the blogs before she told her own son. And her mama, whose social security check she's living off of until around the 5th or 6th or 12th of every month. She'll be back out and traveling again in good old couple weeks. But gotta put this math together. If you're in this room, you gotta put this math together. She's saying people owe her son money because he found out from the blogs that there was a fire to the car, but she called the blogs and gave them the data they used to prove it. Bitch, you crazy. And look at the face of this man as he realizes what she's saying. She's saying, y'all told my business. And look at the face of him as he realizes she lying. Have you ever had that one friend who tell a lie in front of you and want you to check in with the lie in front of you, in front of other people, and you like, this bitch is lying and she want me to jump on her lie?
I'm sure.
And then to see people saying that we lied about it, that it didn't happen, he was confused. All he wanted to do was make sure his mom and his stepdad were okay.
Yeah.
Y'all owe my son money too.
That's
Pain and
laughable.
suffering,
It sure
bitches.
is. Laughable.
Pay your fare.
You see the laugh?
You enjoyed yourself. All of y'all had a lovely time with all your thumbnails and all your shit and your popcorn and your conversations and your this and your that, and you did all of this for a week and a fucking half, all to find out you're fucking stupid. All you did was throw celebrations of mediocrity and idiocracy.
They did.
You the stupid.
She just be putting words together. Celebrations of mediocrity. If there was a celebration of mediocrity, what was being celebrated was the fire, which was mediocre. Is that what you're saying? Like, a celebration of mediocrity is a celebration of something that happens that is mediocre but doesn't really deserve celebration. Bitch, you put it out there. I thought so. The word is mediocrity. I'm sitting here like, I know I'm not saying the right word because I have an actual education in English. You know, I teach English and have as a career that I was stable and successful in. And when it failed, it wasn't P. Diddy's fault. The word is mediocrity. Let's be clear, okay? While you talking about somebody being mediocre, bitch, learn to say the right word to describe it. Fucking stupid shit. And a celebration of mediocrity is like celebrating a play that was not that great. So what you're telling me, excuse me, is your performance has been mediocre. I would agree. I think you could give it more. I think you could have committed to this performance a whole lot more. We haven't even seen a tear fall from your eye about this call that was part of your family. You Ubered in it.
Stupidest motherfuckers ever.
You DoorDashed in it.
And King Twirl, aka
I could give you
Squidward,
a tear. I could give you a tear about your own
suck a
shit.
dick.
Bitch,
Suck
you
every
sucking all the
dick you
dicks.
see.
You sucking all
I
the
hope you
dicks.
choke on them too.
You telling a gay man to suck a dick is like telling you to eat some pussy. That's not an insult, baby. That's an invitation. I like sucking dick too. See, that's what the indica do. Man, that sativa keep me righteous. The indica made me go on down in that root chakra, pull out some good shit. So you have to forgive me. She said suck a dick to two men who she suspects to be gay. Pick me? I mean, like, what are they supposed to say to that? And Sean is acting surprised, and then what she goes on to say needs to fucking be addressed. She displays bigotry. I don't believe there's a such thing as homophobia. I believe that's a made up thing because it is. There's no official phobia called homophobia. In the DSM 503, there is 504 or whichever one is the new one. There is no such thing as homophobia. You can't be afraid of homosexuality. You can be against it. You can be unaccepting of it. You can be misunderstanding of it. You could be a whole bunch of things, but you can't be physically or psychologically afraid of it. There's no one that's afraid of it. People just don't fuck with it. But she does demonstrate behaviors of bigotry. She demonstrates pedophilia just in these next few statements. And it needs to be addressed. It needs to be taken
Bitch,
seriously.
I can't wait to see you.
Oh my
I
God.
can't wait to meet you.
No.
You faggot.
No.
Yeah, I said the F
No.
word. I
No.
said the F word.
Abort.
Her biggest sources are faggots. The people have built her online platform to be what it is by being her mouthpieces and speaking her talking points and releasing her proof and information are faggots. Every single one of them. I mean, I believe her own husband might be. Solar was. So what's she saying? Look at her face. That's Jaguar Wright. And I believe that right now, in this point in the comments, I had been timed out. Because the bitch was going in. I type like 70 words a minute. Don't fuck with me. And I ain't got no nails. So I was going in. Look at her face. She's calling this man one of the most, it's like calling him a nigga. But not a nigga, a nigger. She's calling this man by one of the most hated, disrespectful, gutter words you can call a man who is gay. And if he commits suicide tomorrow like her son did after she told him he was dead to her, she gon' throw that blogger's ashes on some strangers too?
I'm sorry. I take that back. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm shaming the L. Please
No, she
forgive me.
don't.
Shame in the
No, she
synagogue.
don't. No, she don't.
You loose
She don't take it back.
goose, booty juice,
She don't take it back.
fairy
And what's wrong
freak.
with it? I mean, you're using things. You're using this man's possible homosexuality or your speculation of his sexuality. You're using it as a read against him. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with him being a sodomite? You're a lesbian. You're bisexual. And even if you weren't, what's wrong with him? Why would that be the read? You can't say that that man is stupid or dumb or uneducated because he ain't. You can't say that he is homeless or using his mama, because he ain't. You can't say that he's unsuccessful, because he ain't. You can't say he ugly, because he ain't. You can't say he fat, because he ain't. You can't say he's not well traveled, because he ain't, and he ain't doing it in no Kia. I'm not defending the man because I don't have to. What I'm saying is, why would the only thing you say about this human being be to attack what you speculate to be his sexuality? When you can't get your man to fuck you in the ass, and that's all you want. Why would that be the one thing? Something's wrong with that. Like, something about that is just not right. You got to really look at yourself and say, the one thing I keep reading this person about is my speculation of their sexuality, as if there's something wrong with that. What's wrong with it? Like, where is the read? And you're talking to a gay man. Man, there's no sensitivity to the room. You wouldn't be anywhere without gay men right now, Jaguar and Kimberell. You wouldn't be anywhere without a room full of gay men who loved what you have to offer to exploit it.
Faggot! I'm sorry.
I know. No, no.
I'm sorry.
I would have took her off my platform, but you know,
I can't find a better
I'm not here
word.
to I'm not here to break down the host.
I'm
That's not my
trying.
job.
So he's not that. Okay. No one is. No one's that word. Okay. He's not a
Why can't he be?
He's
Why
not.
can't
Oh, you just said that was your friend.
we just reserve that
You just
word
said
for
that was your
him?
friend.
I think we should do that.
Just reserve that word for him because there's something wrong with it.
I think we should just give that word to him.
Why?
Nobody else.
Sweet Jesus.
Because he's every bit of that hoe
I
ass
believe
nigga.
her connections are
You know these
rethinking
people
their
about to eat
connection.
you alive, right?
They can eat me alive. I'm a bisexual woman. They can eat me alive. I'm a bisexual woman.
But you're not, because you're married
I'm
to a
not
man. You're just
homophobic.
unfaithful.
I just kissed the damn girl.
Exactly. You're
And
just
her mouth
unfaithful.
was so soft.
Mm, mm, mm.
That them 23-year-old lips, you know. Oh.
Excuse? How old? What woman says about another woman that 54-year-old, those 73-year-old lips, them 44-year-old lips, them 37-year-old lips? Nobody says that. This is gross, and it's pedophilic. This is pedophile behavior to by a human being by their age and connect that to their sexuality is weird. It's weirder than a person asking why a license plate didn't catch on fire. And to call a gay man a faggot when you're a bulldagger, you a fucking stud sitting here with a boosie fade, bitch. The fuck? It's the hypocrisy. You just come on and play shit. We gotta wrap this up and get this out of here so I can go to bed. This bitch is
I wish you
rambling
could
her.
have stopped
That's why I
throwing
don't
up.
keep people around like this. Because people, they don't want to hear the truth about themselves. I have lost friends who were like this. Man, because I can't do it. I can't ride that roller coaster with you.
What a night that
Man,
was. That night
that was the night you almost got your husband killed. Stupid.
was wild.
The whole night.
Yeah, it was wild. But to wake up and I'm like, dude, where's my car?
And her husband never went to go look for it.
It's a weird morning. And so I got into the, the hot tub.
Because I
And
thought
I
I
said,
was
I'm just
being
gonna calm
followed.
myself.
So I went outside to the public hot tub.
I'm not
Myself.
gonna freak out.
Not meditate or pray.
And then when I finally talked to the police and then, talked to DPS and then talked to ACT Towing. I mean,
She's burping because she's drunk.
I'm just just glad we weren't in that car.
Me too.
I'm
I'm glad they weren't in that car
anxious to see
too.
what the investigation is going to
That
say.
would have been
Now that the car can
horrible.
finally be released to the insurance company,
Can you imagine if
I'm
her husband would have died that night? We'd be having a complete. I just found out a friend of mine passed away a couple days ago. Um, could you imagine if her husband would have died that night? Because he was in that car. Because I'm gonna play it again the way I said it last time. If her husband did not have the stupidity to call her and apologize for her cheating on him, if he wasn't that dumb, like a fucking GoombaHead, and he decided to stand in his machismo and go to sleep in that car, he would have caught on fire. I wonder what she gonna say that. She's never once said my husband could have died that night. We could have, bitch. How could you have? You weren't even in it. You were asleep in a hotel while your husband, who was so sick that he was throwing up, and anybody who's ever thrown up from being drunk, you know that shit don't go away. You feel like you're gonna throw up for days. He left by himself to be in a city that doesn't like black men in the middle of the night, the first day of the weekend, in an area that I know is not safe, parked outside of a laundromat. He could have went to sleep and died. At what point do you say it? Do you acknowledge it? Do you apologize for your behavior that caused it? No, we want to talk about the puppy and the Uber and the Lyft and the 23-year-old's lips.
anxious to see what it's going to say.
Yeah.
Whether it was
Why do you think you're
I know some
targeted?
good folks from Philly too. I heard she was from Jersey
Oh,
though, but that ain't got nothing to do with it.
because I'm about
Why
to
are you
say things that are
target?
going to put people in jail for the rest of their
You-
lives.
You're target because you're about
And
to
I'm
say
willing
things
to
that are going to put people
testify.
in jail for the rest of their lives. But your husband beat a dog and put a gun to your head, and you could put a gun to his head, and you sold women and you sold drugs. But you shouldn't be in anybody's incarceration facility. Neither you nor Goomba, Gerald. I forgot she said half of this dumb shit. Lord, I only watched it once, and then I burned some dragon's blood. Come on and get to the rest of the shit.
Mm.
That's why. I made my peace with it. They can come if they want, but this ain't what they want. We're ready. We're prepared.
Who?
See, we know the life we live and we prepare for it. The fuck y'all think we do all that?
On my arm and a razor blade in my cheek because I was meeting with the mayor about the fact that the police kept killing black men in my city. And I was speaking at city council meetings that are still there's still public record of. And I had police following me on the street telling me the make and model of my car, telling me where I lived. I used to have to roll with people, and helicopters would follow us from place to place. We would get places, and they would put a spider web over the area we were in where we couldn't text or call anybody. We would get on streets and do protests, and they turn all the street lights out and surround us in Roman formation. We had to shut down highways because black men were being killed in our city with impunity. Bitch, what freedom, justice, and equality have you brought forth that would make anybody want to kill you? You spread rumors. That's it. That's it. You have no evidence and have never released a piece of evidence and have caused no change in any industry. And you got your own shit that you need to fess up to and sit at somebody's table and talk about and pay the time and the restitution to families for. You almost got your husband killed twice. That's why that car ain't acting right, because y'all been driving
That time
stupid.
in the desert, just sit around doing nothing.
Please don't come back to our deserts. For I have some ancestors released
Nobody
to stew
enjoys the
you
desert
out.
more than we do.
There's so many ancestors chilling in the deserts. They hang out there. Please don't go.
You can do a
Please
lot in the desert,
don't spoil that energy.
and no one sees anything for miles.
Thank y'all for still being here. I appreciate you for
You
hanging
can
in there.
train, you can pray, you can think, you can plan.
Go ahead and hit the like button while she talking this shit if you
I'm
haven't
not what
already.
people think I am. And when they finally find out who I really am,
Well, who the fuck are you,
they're gonna
Jaguar?
shake in their boots.
In our boots. Who the fuck are you, Jaguar? Which one of these are
But
you?
until then,
He knows she talking shit.
hi.
She done ran out of words. She done ran out of
Yes,
words.
hair flip, honey.
Big hair flip, girl.
She ain't say
Well, I'm
shit
so
just now.
happy that
She just
you
made.
got to.
She wait a minute. Let me just run back these last few minutes of bullshit. Okay. After she talked about the fire, then she went on to declare a shift in the paradigm. You know, after she told us that some times were coming that 90% of us weren't ready for, then she went on to declare a shift in the paradigm, but never said what that shift was. It just had something to do with YouTube and people wanting to be her and her husband's friends. And then she said she was going to give Sean Davy Way an exclusive and that they need to talk privately about somebody and that she remember how good it felt to kiss a person half her age's lips like a fucking creep and a goddamn pedophile. And then she called a man a faggot. And then I don't even remember what happened after that. Is that narcotic? Is that narcotic? Is that narcotic? I'm big question mark, allegedly. Because I don't want to lose all that I have. Because, man, I got a lot to lose. We doing all right. Is that narcotic? If it ain't nothing, thank you. Somebody tell me that's that goddamn narcotic. I got to be allegedly. This woman just went from, I forgot at the very, she has gone through so many different subjects. Big allegedly. Big allegedly. She has gone, maybe it's time for her medication. Maybe they keep doing interviews right at the time. You know, when you take Tylenol, excuse me, or Mucinex, excuse me, which I need, and you start to feel that thing come back. Y'all, we survived COVID in China, but these Arizona allergies are going to damn near kill us. Okay? You know when that medicine's starting to wear off and you start to feel a little foggy or you start to feel a little achy. I just feel like we keep timing these interviews right at the shift. Cause I noticed they do these whole interviews and she don't never drink no water. She'll smoke a cigarette, but who smokes a cigarette and don't drink nothing? And of course, you know, she probably smoking weed, but I am too. And I know how to stay on the goddamn subject. This bitch is all over the place. An arrow. She'll probably suck his dick too. She like broken niggas. Niggas that need to be built up. She love that shit. And then she'll call him a bitch and tell him he's worthless to her when he don't make her business grow, even though he's never had an employable skill or made a business grow.
Do this because I know that it was bothering you, you know, what these people were out here saying and that it was affecting.
It wasn't bothering me as much as they thought. Honestly,
She making this shit up as she go.
I started looking at it differently.
No, I mean with the Sam piece, with Sam being
the
bothered.
Sam part,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about. Other than that,
How did
you weren't
Sam know after the
offensive
blogs
really, but I'm talking
if
about.
you
I
told her
don't like
blog?
Yeah,
I don't like people fucking with my kids'
Ain't
emotions.
nobody
He's been
fucking
fucked
with your
with enough.
kid. You fucking
yeah,
with your kid. Please.
absolutely.
Like my mom and my
You ain't
son
even raise your
shouldn't
kids.
hear
They're one of
about it
them.
before we even get to call them, before we even get a chance to process
So who did you
what we're going to
call?
tell them.
Who'd you call first? How do you process telling your son and his grandma the car caught on fire? I think I think um I think Sinead O'Connor said, I mean, we saw Billy Ray Cyrus poking around the laundromat parking lot that day, and we were being followed by Bob Hope because Bob Hope used to play golf over there by my house in the back, so he's still hanging around here. How do you process calling your family and telling them the car got set on fire? Well, bitch, you told your friends. You were with, okay, so you were on video with a blogger at the doggone junkyard or tow yard, and you hadn't called your son and your mother yet? Well, whose fault is that? Watch this face as it comes out that this is all just a fucking scheme that Todd put together to bring us the bullshit. These people, this web is deep and stupid. I'm gonna have to watch some soap cracking ASMR or something.
But
These motherfuckers done piss me off.
You know how the game go.
it is what it is. We're fine. We're good. You
Yeah.
know, we had a great trip to Shreveport.
This is
Got to
Jacqueline.
see my goddaughter.
She
Got to
is.
see my friends.
This is Jacqueline talking
The
right now.
Eagles lost, but got to eat crawfish. you know, we
This is
got to be
Jacqueline.
us for a little while.
This is usually who we see on stage.
Good times.
Salt Shaker, if you
Well,
don't
this
mind
shit on
hanging out
right
just a
yesterday,
bit, I
so
want to get some more
And we got
information.
more
If you
space in
don't,
the new
if
car.
you'd like to come up,
a lot more space. I
if you,
saw that.
A
I'm gonna
lot
just
more
let
space.
Are you
listen.
liking it?
Oh, we're loving it.
Mhm.
As much traveling as
Hold
we
on,
do, we
because you
need to
can't
be
use a plane. Salt Shaker,
comforted
if
on
you
the
want the
road. So
link, let me know. I'd
it
love you
was
to come
really
up and
great. We were
show and
driving
talk about
back
what you
to
know,
Dallas
even
from
if it's allegedly.
Louisiana, and everyone was
Let me
just
know
so
if you want the
comfortable they
link.
just fell asleep. You know a car is comfortable when niggas just
People fall asleep on a
and
Greyhound.
everyone was just,
People fall
God
asleep
is
in
good.
taxis.
Is your car a rental? Because
People
they
fall
did.
asleep in
No,
police
No.
cars.
I had
The
to
people,
buy that shit.
girl, they said it's in a rental.
No, we listen to me. We
I
were
was
gonna
on the
buy.
phone with you when you were buying it.
I
Myself and
know.
Jane. We were on the phone.
Yeah, I was at the dealership half the fucking day.
Yeah.
Last time I was at the dealership, I wasn't there half the fucking day. Well, neither time. First time I bought my car with cash. It took a long time because we had to negotiate. Remember that, Dominique, when I had to act like I was all mad? I'm not paying for this shit. Just to get the car down to a fair price, I had to negotiate about $3,000 off of that deal. But we went back the next day with my debit card and paid for it with cash. It was quickety split. Then the last car I bought was like 30 minutes. I didn't even get a chance to take my daughter's iPad out because the deal was done. Things don't take long when things are already right.
It
Why you
don't take that
at the
long to get a
dealership all
rental.
day? Oh, that's right. They was fabricating
Absolutely.
documents,
Y'all had to make
But
allegedly.
real quick back and forth to the bank
They
and
had to
stuff.
make it
Like
work.
y'all
yeah,
was stressed out.
They had to make it work.
Like,
it's just called making that
over
shit
with.
happen.
When
We
somebody
had to
tells
get.
you that they were doing business, now I'm a businesswoman. I own a business that is thriving. It ain't where I want it to be, but it's on the way. And when somebody's doing business and they tell you they had to make shit happen, generally it means they had to do some shit they weren't supposed to do. I just dropped the link for you, Salt Shaker. I would love for you to come up and just talk about what you know, even if it's allegedly. Um, um, these people, I swear. It's almost over, Lord. Mm-mm-mm. We had to make that shit happen. I've had to make some shit happen before too. I know exactly what that means. That means you can have no
Oh,
proof of
Yeah.
income, proof of residence, proof of social security number.
Yeah, we're on
I
the
ain't
phone.
flying.
Yeah, no,
She
absolutely. But
couldn't
we're on the
fly
phone
there
history, so I
because
know.
you know the airports ain't having
I
her.
heard it. I heard the
But I'm
conversation.
a
Some of us
liar
got
though. I'm a
miles.
liar. And my car is a rental and they're gonna
Bitch, you
charge me
you
$80 million
travel, but
dollars
you
for smoking in it.
don't know how to act when you get to TSA. When you get to TSA, you shut the fuck up. Didn't I just say I had to pay immigration to let me out of China? I listen. We opened the pockets because we had already lined them bitches because they thought they were gonna fuck with Dominique about some other shit. They didn't even bring up to her. I know why I had to go through what I had to go through, and I don't mind saying it. I sent a text message to my boss and I told her I couldn't come back to work. Because I couldn't find a nanny to work because of their virus. And it was illegal in China to refer to it as their virus or a Chinese virus. I knew what the fuck I was doing. I was trying to get deported because they kept canceling our flights. The law, they'll deport my ass. They didn't. They just canceled my visa and waited till it was time to leave and overcharged me. But I sure did. I was Joe. Listen, we paid that shit. 1,700 quid, wasn't it, Dominique? Wasn't it? And Dominique paid it. She sure did. She sure did. She opened up her pocket and paid it. Listen, you got to know how to act when you get through TSA, bitch. You can't be getting through TSA calling people Papa Smurf and fucking I didn't tell you that part, Dominique. I would never tell you. I would never tell you that. Um, listen, you got to know how to act when you get in these federal spaces. You can't just act a fucking fool. I was working with this. Yes, I was trying to get deported so we could come home. Them motherfuckers wouldn't let us leave. We was paying. They was cutting off our Cash App and our PayPal so we could. Remember, I had to take the SIM card out my phone. Remember all the shit we was going through. I was ready to go. So at least if we leave in a paddy wagon, we leaving. Shit. But anyway, we left on first class, so I did you one better. Anyway, god damn, I done forgot what the fuck I was talking about. This crazy shit. You gotta know how to act when you get to TSA. If you well traveled and cultured. You can't be kidding the kids, bitch this, and why the fuck you still running my bag? You know how many times my bag been run in China? I stood at TSA for 30 minutes one day and I didn't even speak Chinese then. I was going from Beijing to Rugao and had only been in China for a month and was pregnant. And this lady kept running my bag, and I just waited. And then I asked her, like, the best I could, like, what's going on? And she said it was a bottle of lotion. It was a bottle of lotion I had filled with some more lotion. I said, baby, you can have it. You want it? Nioma? Yo, you can have it. That's all she wanted was my lotion. You can have it. We don't let them take medication out our bags. You just let them folks do what they got to do and cuff what you need to cuff. We almost to the good
Absolutely.
part.
And the license plate was supposed to burn up.
Yeah.
And the license plate was supposed to burn up, girl.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Girl,
so
they thought
sorry
they
you
had stuff with
disappointed
that,
me.
girl. Why is it the license plate on fire? Why is it I don't know. Why is it the bumper on fire? You got to get the bumper to get to the plate, weirdos.
If anybody else wants to come up,
Like
you're
that
welcome
fire
to
was
as
Okay.
so
well. Go
hot,
ahead and join
it
the
bust
link. I
out
think
all the windows.
we might after this is over,
Absolutely.
about 10 or 15 minutes.
They tried it. Run that plate.
Yeah,
How you do?
that baby got that melatonin tonight.
Run that
That's why it's
plate.
been so
That's
nice and
all we got to tell
quiet.
you.
You're
We
welcome.
liars. We this, we that. Okay, fine. That's why I said I'll be all of that. That's why when you telling the truth, like with me, like I said, I knew you were telling the truth. So I didn't have to keep running forward and update y'all on what gross. I'm like,
There were no
until she gets the
updates.
information
Nobody cared
in
about
the
that fucking
story, like
fire.
I will update y'all when I have an update. Other
Plenty of people cared about the fire only because they were questioning the integrity of Jaguar Wright and Goomba Johnson. It wasn't about the fire. You could have said, um, your hotel got flooded. People would have questioned that. You could have said your clothes got stolen. People would have questioned that because people don't trust you. That's the part. That's the part. It could have been anything. And you released proof because the person who's hosting the show said, if you don't believe me, here's the proof. And it was this picture that came out to be not related. Absolutely. Still not telling the truth. And I'm not trying to attack the host. Shout outs to the host for releasing this content and sharing it and making it shareable. At the very same time, you released the data that people are evaluating and examining, that you are saying they are stupid because they debunked the data that you released that wasn't even related. I mean, I believe it was Beyonce who said something about being a victim and a villain at the same time. Trying to play the victim and the villain at the same time. Something like that. Whole lot of conversations. Whole lot of texting, no conversations. OMG. Salt Shaker, I want you to come up. I love you in the
But
chat,
they have
but I would
plenty to
really love for
say.
you to
They have
come up.
plenty to say in the
Absolutely.
meantime.
Lots to say in the meantime. Absolutely. You were supposed to go do this absolutely right away, and all of that, like, things don't happen. People get busy and, got other things on the
There's
brain.
this shit that happens in life called fucking protocol.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Candy.
Y'all, I gotta lean back in my chair because she getting on my nerves. I
Friendly
don't want
reminder
to
now,
lose you
y'all.
on the camera.
Y'all going in the
I gotta go.
I
No,
have a
that's
low
fine.
tolerance for
Well,
bullshit
we're filming tonight. We're filming the
You are.
podcast tonight.
because
Absolutely.
that's what's important.
So we got to get ready to head to the studio in a minute.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me.
And we're going to be going live on Philadelphia and doing, in studio behind the scenes tonight of the podcast. Tonight it's going to be me and my husband.
Okay. Okay, I'm
And
there.
we're going to
But
be
you got so many
talking
connections.
about this. We're going to be talking about all the details of everything that happened with the
So well
car. And
connected.
so if anybody really wants to know everything, all of the inner workings of it, and you want to hear it from us, just come on over to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody give a fuck though.
And
And see, the only way you can come on over to Philadelphia is to pay $9.99 for a monthly subscription. The only way that you can find out more about this on Philadelphia is if you pay $9.99 for a monthly subscription. Umar Johnson did the same thing. And I'm not I don't have no problem with people monetizing their content. That's your business. But we see each other. We have to. Because then there's bullshit. You coming up, Salt Shaker? Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. That's what I hear when I hear your name.
Well, we got a show that we got to do the download episode. We're still doing it.
Yes, we absolutely are.
So that's going to be the next episode. Now that I'm out of the hospital and not being chased down and accosted in airports and having my car blown up. Now that I actually have some time to work.
Because she's such a victim.
Next week, down low in the industry. Why are we tolerating the lies?
I am there. That's going to be.
Why is that a subject? Down low in the industry that you're not even a part of, that you have no ownership in, that you have no stake in, that you aren't a leader in, that you're not a change agent in, that you're not involved in, that you're not connected with, that you're not vested in or invested in. Download in what industry? The one you knew back in the day? You're not in the industry, Jaguar, right? Talk about something that matters, honey. That's like that dude last week talking about his podcast focused on breaking down the stereotypes in the prison industry. And the stereotype was about homosexuality. What about the stereotype that y'all did it? Break that shit down. Break down the stereotype that you in prison because you killed somebody. Ay, ay, ay. I gotta run through some of my subscriptions too. I had HBO Max for a minute and didn't even watch it. I only got it to do a Matrix marathon that was horrible because the
Conversation.
last Matrix
I'm
sucked.
so excited.
And I got somebody in the wild card seat that's coming with receipts and actual personal accounts.
Can somebody tell me what that means? I got somebody in the wild card seat. Do you know what she means by that? What that lingo means? If you do, put it in the chat. I would love to know how you interpreted that or what you guess, what you think she might mean by that. Because I want to talk about that for just a second. We're running toward the end of our time, but I want to talk about that. What she mean when she said, I got somebody in the wild card seat. If you don't know, just say in the chat, you don't know. I'm here for that too. Hurts like I got earrings on. I don't wear earrings on with my headphones because they press against my head. Maybe my head is getting big. Could be. The question again was question was, does anybody know what somebody in the wild card seat? She said, I've got somebody in the wild card seat. Blah blah blah. What does she mean when she says I've got somebody in the wild card seat? And I'll toke. What she's saying when she says I've got somebody in the wild card seat is I've got somebody I've talked to who hasn't confirmed yet. Man, my parents used to be in show business. I'm not fluent and crazy, but I am fluent in show business. And what helps me a lot in my own business is that I'm fluent in show business. I used to produce a daily television and radio show. And my producers would not let me not go on air no matter what was happening. They would always say, "One monkey don't stop no show, LC. One monkey don't stop no show." So oftentimes when we would have these production meetings and we would hype our producers up or whatever about what was coming so that they would get excited and support it or whatever, give us the money we needed to do it, we would say, yeah, I got somebody in the wild card seat. What that means is I got somebody I talked to who hasn't confirmed, which to a producer means you ain't got nobody. It's like having four in a possible. Now I'll say four in a possible and have six. Anybody who plays with me knows. But that's why you got to play sandbags with me or I will win in some spades. But the wild card seat is just, it's nothing. It means nothing. She's talking about the guy who last week was on Instagram and made a video and said with her. And he's a Gemini, so he understands how she might be a little bit bipolar and crazy. I think they just want to fuck. So just fuck. I don't think either one of them really have any good info enough to make any difference. I think they just got a lot of gossip. They're gonna trade notes on gossip and then they gonna fuck and she gonna tell Goomba, I don't know what happened. People just want to kiss me because I'm so attractive. But that's what that means. I got somebody in the wild card. She probably talking about that guy
With
who
some of the
hasn't
people we talk
confirmed
about.
and is still thinking about whether or not he wants to be
I'm excited.
affiliated with her publicly because he's been warned.
Honeycomb parties, maybe?
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
because the guy that I'm talking about was affiliated with P. Diddy. And so, he was one of the rappers. I can't remember his name, and there's a reason why, and I'm glad I can't, because I try now to be careful about the names as I say them because I do have a lot to lose. So I just want to make sure that I'm careful. But yeah, I think that's who she's talking about. There's a person who, and Goomba, if he's sitting by watching his wife talk about a nigga who she been talking to in the background, just like she did Solar for weeks, apparently, before he all of a sudden showed up in their house. He's sitting here watching his wife. Oh, she probably gonna get her ass whooped after this live.
It's on my network.
I
What the fuck
know,
you
I know.
gonna do?
And
The girls are gonna talk.
it's not a network, it's a website. CBS is a network. NBC is a network. MTV, Paramount, um, Time Warner, those are networks. A network is something that owns other things. You have a website, it's on your streaming site. I used to work for GoDaddy too.
I'm gonna take a little clip of it and
I
I'm gonna
sold a
put it
lot of
on
those.
YouTube. So,
Oh, you can. You know you can.
so they can get a little trailer. Come over there and see the discussion.
But you should have
Oh, they
paid
have
some
no
money to
idea how lit
build your
we are. We are
site
fucking lit
instead of
24/7.
using a
Yeah.
template.
And I
Yeah.
love you.
That wasn't a good
And I
idea.
love you. I love you down.
I love you too.
All right, I gotta go. Kiss to the family. Glad,
Yeah,
Oh,
because
glad
your
the
husband about to
baby's
whoop your
doing well.
fucking ass
yes.
for talking about that nigga in front of him.
Thank you so much, sweetie. Shout out to Goomba and
But at least
send
he
him my
put a
love.
shirt on.
Bye, Goomba, brother. Shout out to both of you. All right.
Bye.
I'll see you later. Bye, sweetie. Shout out to Jaguar Wright.
We don't have to do that. We don't have to give that any more attention. So, I just want to remind you, not because I have any affiliation or any allegiance to any particular human beings on the planet beside myself and my child, how a professional, trained, cultured, established, confident woman address
Jazzy, how many more questions you got?
media
Jazzy, how many more
and a
questions you got?
young
I only got one more.
What's your last question?
Can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show?
No, but I will share some for you personally.
All right.
What you're doing now doesn't define who you are. Everything you do when the cameras are off, that's what defines you. So you have to be just as great on the camera as you are off the camera and
And
vice
you a
versa.
mess on the camera, Jaguar,
That
so I can only
means
imagine.
that if you have a good day like today, you interview someone,
Goomba slow
don't
punching
let
you
this
after that
make or
interview?
break you.
How you gonna talk
How
about
you
another
treat your
nigga in front of your
family
husband
and your
like that?
friends and other people off the camera, that's just as important.
Right.
Now, if something don't happen the way you want it to happen in your career, you do not go and cry and pout and think it's the end of the world. It's not. You hear me?
Yep.
Promise?
Promise.
I wish I could
Jazzy,
play that back in slow motion. If something does not happen in your career the way you want it to, you don't pout and do all that bullshit and name call and blame and point fingers. You take responsibility for it. You may even need to reinvent yourself. And shout outs to you for doing Grubhub and DoorDash and shit, because I know that's not easy, especially coming from the delusions of grandeur that you have to humble yourself to serve people like that. But it's some good money in it if you're willing to do it. Well, for a while. They'll only let you make good money for a while. If you really have an enterprising spirit, you got to just go ahead and start your own business and doing something else. But I appreciate Onika for showing us how a woman of a certain age behaves in public. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth about Onika. Onika has pissed me off for misrepresenting black women in such a way that I had to represent us harder overseas. But anytime you've seen her in as Onika, she's been lovely. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I'm not getting in all that other shit. Listen, anyway, y'all, if you want to come up, I know Salt Shaker has got some information, has made some phone calls, has got some inside information on this situation. And I'm gonna ask you one more time if you want to, Salt Shaker, to come on up. Because I think that what you have to share could be insightful and helpful. So if you need me to share that link again, let me know. Did you see that video of Jaguar on speaker driving around a gas station selling body oils? I heard about that. Somebody was talking about that in Dallas. Um, maybe like last summer or this summer. Well, you know that salve she was selling for a while. A lot of people never did receive it, or some people received their first jar and still haven't received their second jar. So, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. I did not see that video. If you have it, send me the link to it. Put the link in the chat. Um, I just think it's kind of, this was somebody who I'm sure we all looked at one point and was like, okay, she might be able to help push us forward. And then over time, we just realized, and she was exploiting her own bitterness to try to destroy other people who are consistently doing better than her. I mean, P. Diddy just had a whole baby. That man was on video bathing his child. He's happy, him and Carisha and their new baby. Onika just had a baby too. Her and her husband are happy. They're doing fine. They're not getting kicked out of casino hotels. Ain't nobody blowing up their cars. Shoot, Beyonce just finished in the fucking hotel in Dubai that you can't even fly to. And Jay-Z is looking better than ever. Who else you gonna talk about next, Jaguar? Usher. Well, why don't we talk about you? I want you to go ahead and open the book on your pimping business. That's what you need to do. You need to superhead your pimping business. It's time for you to go ahead and open the book on the drug dealing and the pimping and the dog abuse. I want it all. I don't want to hear you say shit about nobody else. Not a word. Not a word. I want you to lay that open. I don't want you to talk about it in past tense when you still kissing 23-year-old girls. Man, being a predator against young girls. Thanks for letting me know I can't trust my daughter around you. Thank you. I appreciate you for letting me know that you're not somebody I can trust my niece to go get advice industry. If she decides she wants to go in the industry, I can't send my niece to you because you might try to. Thank you for letting me know that as our girls mature and grow, you're not somebody we can trust them with because you fetishize their age. And you used to pimp them, and we talked about Sharp. Them pimps. Man, female pimps are worse than male pimps. They're worse. Shit, them madams and them bottom bitches are. That personality is what we see in Jaguar when she started talking about, Larry Reed. Whoever that person is, whatever that personality is, whatever voice comes out, that's the one that probably was the pimp. When her voice gets real deep and guttural and she starts sounding demonic, that's the one that probably was the pimp. But I don't really give a fuck about P. Diddy. I want to know about you, Jag. What's T? The real shit. Because you already exposed yourself as a pedophile. You've done that by now. And anybody who chooses not to see that based on the things that you continue to say about that young woman who was probably being sex trafficked. Because why would a 23-year-old woman be hanging out with you in a bar voluntarily? No, that's something you get paid to do. She was hanging out with y'all hoping y'all were, she was trying to finesse. Because that's what young girls around here do. 7 out of 10 women in Phoenix under 75 or 80 are hoes. Yeah, them old women be hoeing too. They be doing it too. Watch who you around. See, now she talking about Mary J. Blige and Foxy Brown and them got gang raped. How do you know? And why didn't you do anything about it? She said that she was at an R. Kelly concert and he was taking his finger and putting it in the ass crack of children. What? Where's the police report? What's your name on it? Jaguar Wright, Jacqueline Suzette Wright, anonymous. How often did you make a change in the industry when you were in it for them 15 minutes they gave you to make a commercial that nobody can remember? Who's that girl? I remember this girl. Oh, Jaguar, right? I remember her name. What was she? She had that one song that is the story of her life. Not beneficial. Now she's snitching. Now I'm gonna tell you. I told on New Birth while I was there. I sure did. I told on New Birth while I was there. I had fellow parishioners telling me I needed to get lost because I told on New. I'm about to take my bra off. Sorry, y'all. I'm not gonna do it. It came over my mind. Um, Listen. If you can't disrupt an industry while you are in it, what use are you but a bitter bitch? You can't make. Of course, she was there. So was Cat Williams. They all tell you. You participated in that shit, and now you mad because you didn't benefit from it. I said New Birth was demonic the whole time I was there. I had meetings with Terrell and Hermione and Eddie, and I told them I ain't never seen more demons run through hallways than I do in these churches. Motherfuckers will cut you dead just to get a seat next to the bishop and call him daddy. I called that shit out while I was there. While I was in seminary, I called out the fact that certain denominations had a demonic bend according to the tenets of Christianity. And that if the president of our seminary continued to allow the seminary to go in that light, he was going to go to hell too. I told him, Eddie will tell you, not that one, a different one. I had to put my father in check about the church while I was in it. At some point, somebody said, well, you need to learn how to just, victory is mine. I don't roll like that. I don't roll like that. As long as I'm in that hole, there's a certain amount of integrity that I have a responsibility to keep. New Birth Wildflower. I don't know what that is. I'm talking about New Birth, Eddie Long's businesses. He was the CEO of. But you wait until don't nobody even know who you are to pop up with some stories that been running shit that is so unimportant that nobody's even sued you, but you gonna sue everybody about what they said about you. You better be glad they treated you with grace, Jacqueline. Mary J. Blige could have sued you. Erica Badu could have sued Erica Badu. Oh, New Birth Wildflower. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna have to look them up. A whole bunch of folks could have sued you. P. Diddy could have sued you. Jay-Z could have sued you. You ain't talked about Hugh Hefner though. How come you ain't talk about Monty Python? I mean, you settling on these little fish in the black. Why aren't you talking about the big guys, the ones who really make things shake? Oh, because you were never in those circles. You never made it to those parties. You never made it in those rooms to know what the gossip is. You know. You never made it in the rooms with the Weinsteins. or the Einsteins or whatever their last names are that ends with whatever it ends with. You never made it in those circles. You never socially climbed to those peaks. So you don't have that T. You got the little raggedy T. The P. Diddy is gay. Nigga, we know. Nigga, we know. That ain't nothing you had to tell us. Talk about the queen and how she ate babies. Talk about all of Michelle Obama's surgeries. Bitch, you ain't got no T. Anyway, y'all, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I love you so much for joining um the breakdown tonight. I will be here with you or without you, but I love to be here with you because I honestly cannot do this without you. To all of you who've been here, to everybody who's commented, to everybody who has given your take on stuff, I really, really, really appreciate you. Want you to join the panel. I would love to break it down with you a little bit more, but I know at some point people will feel more comfortable. I know that I talk loud and brash, but I'm really, really nice on the panel. I hope you've seen me when I've had panel mates. I am much nicer. I'm much nicer on the panel. I'm calm. If I'm on the panel with you, I'm gonna be nice. I'm very nice. I'm just, I'm a lot when I'm in here by myself. Maybe you need to come tame me. Anyway, pour some sugar on me. Anyway, y'all, I love you again. I want to thank you guys for being here. And we out. Deuces, deuces. See you next Saturday. We will be here, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, which is 9 Eastern. And they said she was there and she probably participated. That's hilarious. I'm just going through the comments, y'all. Y'all can hang out if you want. Y'all can head out. I'm just gonna go through these comments for a little bit. Tokyo Tony, Jesus. Do you really want to do Tokyo Tony? Wait a minute. I see. Wait a minute, because listen, I got beef with Tokyo Tony. That's a woman that I never want to sit in a room with. I have heard that woman say some things about her daughter that made me look at my mother with a whole different light. I thought my mama was evil and crazy until I heard the way Tokyo Tony referred to her own child that she gave birth to. Man, thank you. I appreciate you, Dominique, for saying I look great tonight. Y'all, we could do Tokyo Tony if you want. Icy, go ahead and send me a link to what you want to break down. I really don't watch her if I don't have to. Porn wise, she's great. But personally, she sucks. But yeah, we could do it. I want to do what you want to do. I do want to do what you want to do. That's how I like to play. So if you got a link, let me know. Listen, I will give you my email address. You can send me a link. Excuse me. That is my email address. Go ahead and send me a link to what you want to do. Y'all, it's sequins all over the floor. It's little sparklies all over the floor. That is hilarious. My poor shirt been shedding. Um, yeah, she do porn. She did back in the day. That's what she was. She was a prostitute and she was an escort and she was a porn actress. One that was phenomenal. I've only seen one, but it was really good. And she was really pretty, and she was like doing her thing. Like she know what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was good, but that's where it stops. That's exactly where it stops. It stops at how she fucks. That's what she's good at. Hold on. We got T. Tokyo Tony is. She said Black China was gonna sacrifice her. Ain't nobody sacrifice. Listen, Tokyo Tone. Listen. Since we want to talk about the Bible, Jaguar, right? There is a scripture that changed my motherfucking life. It says, "Your own sins will punish you." Verbatim. King James, New James, Old English, WD 40. It says, "Your own sins will punish you." So I don't think anybody has to sacrifice Tokyo Tony. I don't think anybody has to sacrifice Tokyo Tony. That woman. Remember how I said part of the reason why I never got into the interview game or the reporter game was because you got to sit in rooms with people and be diplomatic when you know they full of shit. When I saw the interview that Tokyo Tony and she about Black China until Tokyo Tony played that phone call, and if y'all want us to break it down, let me know. I really got to do some consecration work because man, before we dig into that, she showed her ass. She said things to her daughter that you wouldn't say to your biggest enemy. There should be a certain boundary in how a woman talks to her child. And if there's not, there's something wrong. And I had some tough parents, but goddamn, I thought my mom and daddy was crazy until I heard how this woman talked to her. I had to call my mama. God rest her beautiful soul. I had to call my mama and I was like, "Mama, listen. I know you done said some shit to me that ain't nobody supposed to say to nobody, but you ain't never got down and dirty with me like that." When I tell you this woman, and she doesn't even understand how bad it is. She think it's okay. She talked to her daughter like a pimp. Talk to a hoe. And that's why they get along, her and Jacqueline. That's why they get along. They probably both pimp. They got that pimp shit going on. I mean, you see Mama D and what's the lady's name whose son went to jail? They both look like little lizards. On Love and Hip Hop. Both of them women was pimping. They thick as thieves. You see one thing that is not known that needs to be very well known. Everybody know it, but don't nobody know it. Is that there is a strong prostitution game in the music and entertainment industry, in television and music and movies and maybe even sports. There's a lot of prostitution that happens. A lot of these actresses that we know, they go on yachts and they fuck for money. They fuck old men, billionaires. I mean, Kim Kardashian allegedly has been doing it for decades. Her mama allegedly has been pimping her for decades. You don't think um Black China got into the game because her mama wasn't pimping her at some point? I mean, I'm lucky enough to be two generations away from a pimp and a hoe. My grandmother and grandfather were. And my mother was removed from the home. My mother can tell me some of the experiences she had waking up in a house where prostitution happened and how her mother made her a part of it. That personality is different. My cousin, her mother was raised in the home and later on became a prostitute, an escort, because she dealt with high class, high dollar clients, had children, lawyers, doctors, politicians, all kinds, investors, businessmen. And my cousin told me that her mom was like, "If you can't make me money, or bring me money. What use are you to me? Isn't that what Jaguar said to her husband? You're no more use to me. There is a strong pimp game in the industry, and that's why people like Sharp are able to have a show like that and nobody cancels him. That's why Blueface is able to sit on a platform and talk to Krishan like that and nobody cancels him. Do I believe that Kanye West benefited off of what that girl name? I don't think about those people very often. His wife. Do I think he benefited off of her allegedly being what you talking about? Hold on. Um what a minute, hold on. I'm gonna have to check in with the comments, y'all. What are y'all talking about? Y'all are crazy. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm going to get in there and find out what's going on. Karen King, that's her name. She's a beautiful person too, and she's worked really hard to change the image of her family. I don't think that means they do anything different to make money. But anyway, um, there's a lot of pimping going on out there, and Jaguar Wright was a part of it. And if her husband was the faithful patron of a barber shop where she called it a drug den, and her husband was damn near raised by the owner, that means they probably were part of that. They probably are a part of it. They probably benefit from it. Man, that woman probably got secrets. No, 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 no. Y'all are funny. Salt Shaker. She was referring. She. I'm sorry. I'm assuming Icy is she. I'm sorry. Icy 7690 was referring to the person I was trying to remember the name of. Oh, y'all are funny. Um, it's okay. Um, Salt Shaker apologized. Y'all are funny. I love you guys. Uh, listen, I'm gonna have to get some moderators in here. Y'all maybe end up being the moderators. Y'all go hard. I love it. Dominique, you too, definitely. Uh, Dominique ain't gonna get on in no kerfuffles. I don't know. Dominique like to kerfuffle. She like to do a little chat fighting. I think we've done a couple chat fights with other people before. But anyway, y'all, we could talk about Tokyo Tony. We could do it. It definitely can be done. Is it only 10:19? My time. This is about usually when we shut down. We've been running late these last couple weeks, but um yeah, we could do some Tokyo Tony. I could get into that. I do want to talk about that phone call. I think that's important because this woman said that she wants to have a group home. Her and Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright told her son he was dead to her, and then he killed himself the next day. And Tokyo Tony has said all the things she said to her son, but they want to open a group home and teach girls how to play hopscotch. Oh, you guys are awesome. Um, I love it. I love when people can admit that they made a mistake and then move on. I think that's pretty cool. Because sometimes we get passionate. Um, 19 minutes past your bedtime. Girl, I know what time it is where you live. It ain't that late. But I feel you. Tomorrow's the only day of the week I get to sleep in. And I bargained with my child to let me sleep tomorrow. So we'll see. I have to go see my friend whose husband passed away a couple days ago. Shout outs to Papa Tony. Um, man, I got a good old Native American chief in my doggone arsenal of ancestors. Now you don't want to fuck with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That man taught me so many things. Shout outs to Tony. He taught me a lot. And I'm glad to know him, glad to have known him and still continue to. I just gotta get these comments up here. She gonna wake me up. That girl don't give a fuck. She is a certified asshole. She is definitely gonna wake me up. She don't care. She don't care. She might just get straight to her iPad though, because sometimes she's nice. We'll see. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. I am Delacremedela. This is Breakdown. Y'all have been amazing. Feel free to leave a like. Please, please leave a like on your way out. Leave a little comment. Let me know where you're going, where you're coming from, where you are, what you got going on this weekend. Um, you know, all the things, how you're enjoying this new paradigm shift in YouTube as Jaguar Wright declared it. Thank you. Thank you, Salt Shaker. I loved having you here. You know, it's funny, your comments actually go to YouTube quicker than they come to me, which is weird. Takes me a while to see them. That's why they're kind of sometimes off track when I post them, because I have YouTube playing on one of my devices here and I can see them, but I can't do nothing with them until they come over here to StreamYard. So anyway, let me get us on out of here so we can get to bed, if that's what we gonna do, or get some pussy or whatever you gonna do tonight, because I'm going to bed. Hold on, let me let my imaginary husband tell us good night. Come on, husband, tell the people good night so they can go to bed. Good night, y'all. Thank you for joining tonight. I'll see you next Saturday, same time. Hopefully a different strain. Make sure you tip the servers on your way out. There are so many Jaguar Writers and scammer comments in here. It's not even funny. I can go back and forth between. Jesus, how you gonna put something out there and then tell people they crazy because they examine what you put out? I'm only talking so we don't get copywritten. I want one show I don't get copywritten. Just one. Good night, y'all. See you next week. See you in the small clips and